to you live from Long Island. It's CUNNY.
Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody, on a fucking Friday night? Just getting started here. What is up, everybody, on a Friday night? Ken on 10. Coming to you live. A lot of shit on the table tonight. So if you're out there, holla back at me in a little while in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the one and only Foul Mouths chat. Shout out to the chat. Friday night, late July, the summer of 25. Where are you? Are you alive out there in the summer of 25? We're in the future. And you know what? It ain't so bad. Okay? You know, I fell into the trap a couple of weeks ago when I thought for sure we were going to World War III. You know why? Because I had it pushed on me and pushed on me and pushed on me that we were going to be in World War III because we were going and, you know, taking out nukes in Iran and all this shit. And, you know, I thought we were pretty close to a war, if not a nuclear war, right? I really thought we were very close. And we were. I mean, it was, you know, what if China would have backed them up and Russia and all that shit? I mean, who knows? But I thought like we were close, but you know what? We really weren't as close as I thought, or a lot of people thought. And there was a lot of fear mongering going on, and I was part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I was part of it because I felt like we were going to war, and I was like, yo, you know, we might be going to fucking war. Like, we were talking about it on a couple of streams in a row and all that shit. And, you know, but we never really were. And you know what? I was listening to too much Alex Jones, man, because he was pushing World War III like crazy when Trump first went into Iran to get the nukes. And it's like, this guy now, he's with the Epstein thing. Like, he's with the Epstein shit day and night. How do you guys feel out there? All right, whoever is in the chat, whoever's going to be here tonight, maybe hit me with that answer. How do you feel about that shit with Trump not releasing names or releasing names? Are there names? Are there not names? Is it a file? Is it a list? Is it toilet paper? What the fuck is it, right? We all don't know. It's all speculation, right? For Americans, right? And for everyone else. But obviously people know some shit. How do you feel about that? Do you not give a fuck? Because some people don't give a fuck and they're like, yo, let's move the fuck on from it. And some people do give a fuck and they're like, yo, wait a second. We were promised shit. Why say one day that it's there and then the next day it's not there? And everybody's saying, oh, Trump's a genius because he did this and he did that. Or Trump's fucking totally dumb because he fucked this and he fucked up that. And I mean, like, where are we? Where are we? Does anybody know? Do you care about the Epstein files? And do you give a fuck about what happened at the Coldplay concert? Where now it's this big-ass meme that's hit the internet. And there's a live video out there of this going down. And they picked this couple out in the crowd, right? And they put him on the live screen. And come to find out that that guy's a CEO. And he was cheating on his wife and 2 kids with this woman. And as soon as the camera hits them, they start disappearing. And the dude, one of the guys from Coldplay, says, oh, either they're cheating or they're camera shy or something like that. I'm going to play the video and you'll hear exactly what he says. But he says that. And it come to find out that this guy is a CEO and he was cheating. And now it's hit the internet and it's a fucking huge meme. It's all over the place if you haven't heard about it yet, which I'm sure a lot of people have. But yeah, supposedly this is like, and I'll play the video and all that, but what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? It is a Friday night, thank God. The weekend is here. I am 2 days away from going to the West Coast. I'm flying out of the backyard. I bought a set of wings. My wife's gonna climb on my back. I'm gonna dive off the roof, and we're gonna see if we can keep going. And we're gonna try to land in the West Coast. So we got that coming up, and all that shit. But yeah. So I mean, the world we live in now with the internet is like the stupidest shit. That shit like this actually happens, but do you feel good or bad about it? Because it's like people are ripping this couple apart on the internet right now, like trying to destroy their lives. But you know what? It's like justified. You know, like you want to cheat on your wife and your kids, like, you know, you deserve to be outed. And Coldplay did it. They outed him right there. Put him on the live screen. Got it right up in their grill. And that was it for them. I could play you guys the video. I got it. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. I mean, I just heard about this a while, like a little bit ago, but I'll play the video for you guys. Here it is right here.
All right, come on, you're okay?
The Coldplay fan who filmed the tech CEO and his HR chief canoodling at a gig has spoken out about the jaw-dropping moment. Grace Springer captured the moment during Coldplay's Boston gig on Wednesday night and shared the footage on TikTok, not realizing the internet firestorm.
Look how they separate as soon as the camera hits them. Like, it's so fucking obvious. And look, the girlfriend's like, yeah, babe, you just,
but no one knew who they were.
you just got fucked.
But that all changed once
love
Grace
it.
uploaded the clip to
I
her
love
account
it.
between 1 and 2 a.m. on Thursday.
You want to
And
cheat?
by Friday morning,
You know what? You fucking deserve it. If you want to cheat, you fucking deserve it. You know? Like, why not just get a divorce?
Astronomer CEO Andy Byron, who is married, and his
Andy.
chief people officer Kristen Cabot,
Up,
wrapped in a
Andy
cozy
and
embrace as
Andy
Coldplay
and
frontman
Christy together in a tree.
Grace said she never meant to cause a scandal,
K-I-S-S-I-N-A.
but she stands by sharing the
Look at
footage.
her. She's like, yeah, that's
She
right,
told
babe.
us that part of her
I'm banging
feels
your
bad for
husband.
turning these
We're at the
people's lives
game.
upside down, but added that people
Look
who
at
play
this.
stupid games win stupid prizes. Grace said that she hopes the
Unbelievable.
partners can
Putting the
heal
cock in
from
both
this
of 'em.
and get a second chance at the happiness they deserve.
Putting the
with
cock in
future
both
still
of
in
them.
front of
That's what this guy's doing. He's putting a cack in both of them, this fucking guy, bro. He's putting a cack right in both of them. Putting a cack. I mean, listen. How do you feel about that? Like, if you're going to cheat, get a divorce. You know what I mean? If you're going to cheat, you might as well get a divorce. I don't know. You know? And then you're going to go to a game? Yeah, they should have played it cool. Exactly, BR. They should have played it cool, but they played it like fucking idiots. And that video makes them look so fucking bad. You know, as soon as you see yourself on the Jumbotron, it's fucking bail out, bro. Like, when you see that, you know, like, that's the most guilty fucking thing you can do at that point, is to do what that couple did. And her friend just sat there just laughing her ass off at it. I loved every second of it. She sat there just laughing her ass off, you know? Like, the greatest reaction, like, oh, honey, you guys are fucked. And I'm sure we're going to, oh, he did a video, this guy. This guy has done a video, like, I guess, saying, like, please stop trying to destroy our lives, or blah, 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 on the internet. So, I'm going to see if I can find that. But, yeah, this guy, man, yeah, that's the worst fucking thing you can do, is what they did. It makes you look so fucking guilty right then and there, you know what I mean? Exactly. Should have had a different reaction. You got busted, and that's it. You know? Now you're a meme. Now they're basically a fucking meme now. That's
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, you're okay? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Look at this shit. I love it. Look at that. Look how bad they got busted.
I'm not quite sure what to do. Could we broccoli?
Look at that shit. That is so great. That is so fucking great. I mean, blew them the fuck up, man. You know, like, you know, karma is a bitch, man. You know what I mean? Karma is a son of a bitch, right? Karma is a son of a bitch, man. And the guy from Coldplay was saying all kinds of shit to them, like, either she's shy or they're cheating. You know what I'm fucking saying? They're fucking cheating there. So, you know what? It's good to see people get what they deserve sometimes, you know? There's too many people out there. Hey, did you guys hear? We were talking about how on the Diddy trial, Comey's daughter was one of the prosecutors, and everybody was saying, hey, you know, the fix is in, man. Comey's daughter is the prosecutor on the Diddy trial. That could be connected to the Epstein type of thing in there, and all kinds of same similarities there, and high-profile dude in the same jail, blah, 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 right? And you come to find out that she's the prosecutor, the head prosecutor. Now, she botches that whole shit up. Diddy basically got out of it, right? And now we're talking about she gets fired. She literally gets fired after the Diddy trial, right? She gets fired. And now she's in the news talking shit about Trump and saying all this crazy shit about him. Not that I give a fuck. She's entitled to her opinion. But it's like, really? You didn't have much to say, you know. And a lot of people saying that she covered up the Diddy shit because...
Holla for that dollar.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Crash test dummies tipped $1. Once there was this girl who wouldn't go and change with the girls in the change room, but when they finally made saw birthmarks all over her body, she couldn't quite explain it. They'd always just been there.
Once there was this girl who tried to shit inside the men's room, and she went in, and when she finally went in, her dick all over the... All right, let me stop. Shout out to you, Crash Test Dummy, and shout out to everybody in the fucking chat. As I see some of the homies in the chat on a Friday night. 420 to everybody out there tonight. I have Moon Rock. Shout out to Nikki J. Shout out to Garza BR. The one and only Mr. Kal-El Biggity Hammer. Got a beef hammer. Kal-El beef hammer. Speaking of Kal-El Bama, Kal-El, the new Superman came out. I seen it. I'm not trying to ruin it for anybody. But if anybody wants to hear a little bit of a feed bunk, I'll give you some feed bunk if you want. All right? But shout out to everybody in the chat. Minnesota Vikings Slamma Jam and his party jams over there. Shout out to Minnesota Party Jams. 40 tootin' time. Rootin' and tootin'. So I hope you guys are doing good, man. And shout out to whoever else is out there, whoever else hears this down the line. Give me a little bit of a like button over there if you can, guys. You can hit that like button. I really appreciate it. That'll help me out a little bit. You know what I mean? Give me a little bit of that fucking like button. Like, fucking a little bit of that like button, you motherfuckers. That fucking... Listen, I look like a burnt matcha, okay? I am so fucking tan this year because I've been out in the fucking monstrous heat. I mean, can you see this? One of the brothers at work said to me, damn, Ken, we're going to have to start calling you a brother soon. I was like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm getting dark, right, bro? And he's like, nah, you're just ignorant. No, he didn't say that. I'm just fucking around. But, and like, but yeah, so these people got busted, and I feel good about it. Fuck them, you know? Like, you want to fucking cheat on your family, then you deserve it. Listen, if you're willing to cheat on your wife, especially with some girl you work with, right? Your relationship's got to be pretty fucked to begin with, right? Or else you wouldn't try to tap that ass somewhere else, right? That's the way I see it. The only other way, besides what I just said, is if some hot, unbelievable 10, a girl who is like a fucking 10, like a girl in your dreams type of girl, right? Is a 10, and she comes on to you, like she can't say no to you. She just loves everything about you. She comes on to you like, hey,
like that, and you find her madly attractive, right? I mean, like, you know, that would be like the only ways that you would ever cheat, like I would see, or even like if it's even worth to do something like that. Otherwise, you just fucking end your relationship with your wife, because if you're willing to fuck another chick, right, or guy, or whatever the fuck you're into, right, why would you even bother? Why not just get a divorce or separate at that point and tell the other person, hey, listen, I want to start fucking outside the relationship. Either you're down with it or we got to say bye-bye. And I know dudes at my age and younger that were getting sick and tired of their marriages, that told their wives, I'm going to start fucking like whores and shit, or else like you could leave me or stay with me. And this one guy's wife, man, he fucks whores all the time. And she's still with him, I guess. At least I've seen it. Like the last I've seen a couple of months ago, she was still with him. And she openly knows that he has sex with other women. Now, this guy who got busted in this Coldplay shit, right? He could be in a relationship like that, is my point. You know, the rest of the world don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. But the fucked up thing is, I think he did a video that basically was like a sorry video, I think. Or some shit like that. And I'm not sure yet, though. That's the thing. I'm not sure. But, yeah. I'm going to look it up in a little bit and see if there's one there. But I think he did some kind of, like, pleading his case video or some weird shit like that. And from what I heard, it made everything worse. You know? So, this guy's, I mean, you know, he's a CEO. It's like, you're a high-profile guy, and, you know, you're at, like, a concert, a Coldplay concert, and, you know, you don't think you're going to be on the Jumbotron and shit. I get it. But, like, you're cheating, you know? Like, you might want to play it cool, you know what I mean? You might want to stay a little low-key. But no, not this guy, you know what I mean? Because he's big, bad CEO man, you know what I mean? He's like, fuck you, I do what I want. I stand here with the bitch I'm cheating with right in my arms, right here, right in front of everybody at the Coldplay concert. Now, like I said, if he has an open relationship, now nobody gives a fuck. And you're doing all this for a waste, right? But for the fact that he went in, like, either pleaded his case or did some type of video, it leads me to believe that, nope, he got fucked. His wife is mad. He's out. Goodbye. You're out of the fucking penthouse and into the garage. But I'm sure this guy's got so much money, I'm sure that he'll be just fine. And like a year from now or a couple of months from now or weeks, he'll be fucking chicks all he wants because he'll be getting a divorce pretty soon and probably giving up half his shit. And let's not forget, he is a CEO, so he's got some money. Right? Right. So now for all you 420 motherfuckers out there, all you smoking weed guys, and I got something for you alcohol guys too. I got a little something for you alcohol guys, right? But for you smoking weed guys tonight, we got a little special thing that we're going to smoke, and we're going to take a hit all together and do an antisocial. And look what I got ready to go for tonight. That's right, guys. It's back. The Moon Rocka Shaka Laka Hash Laka. There it is, bro. This is the blonde hash. THC levels through the roof. It says it on here, the THC level. I think it's something like crazy, 90-something, I think. Dude, this shit is crazy. This is infused with, like, hash and rosin and all kinds of other shit. You know what I mean? And, I mean, you really can't make it out in there, but it's very sticky. And when you smoke it, it does a lot of weird shit, like it goes on fire and then it melts for a half hour, and you kind of got to put something on the lid of whatever it's packed into, or else it'll sit there like a little, you know, those things you light up to fill up the room with smoke, like one of those things. This thing just stays lit for an hour if you don't cover it. But it does smoke very good, and it gets you pretty whacked the fuck out, I gotta say. I took a hit earlier when I got home from work, took a shower, watered my garden, and then came in here after sweating my balls off because it was like 90 fucking 9 degrees today, 99. And I come in here and I take a big rip out of Old Betsy because I have nothing else to smoke out of now because it broke. And I took a big milky one with this stuff in it. And I took one hit. And listen, I'm a veteran when it comes to smoking, right? And I blow it out, and I walk outside, and as soon as I hit, like, the hot air again, I'm like, I was like, holy shit, this stuff right here, bro. If you're not a veteran smoker and you smoke this, I'm telling you, you'll be on the couch like this. You give me you can't move. So, but anyway, this one goes out to all you pot smokers out there. 420. Let's do one with me. Come on. Let's do it. Let's get milky. Let's get milky. Holy shit. Thank you. Thank you. No, really. Yeah, it was,
How do you feel about your last hit?
I think it was a pretty good hit, and kind of got a little dizzy there for a second. And feel like I'm going to choke a little bit, but doing pretty good. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Take it easy. Thank you. Take it easy. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. I'll tell you. Okay. All right. I mean, calm down already. Okay. All right. I mean, come on. All right. My wife said she wants to go on vacation. I said, where do you want to go? She said, somewhere I've never been. I said, why don't you start out in the kitchen, you dumb cunt? Hey, okay. All right. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Hey, okay. Keeping you on the inside of my quarter-riddled asshole. You fucking asshole. Of my quarter-riddled asshole. You fucking dick. Oh, that fucked me up, that hit. Oh, God. Shout out to somebody. That shit's good, man. You want me to tell you the THC level on it? Let me see here. I'll tell you the real deal here. Let me see. I was lying. It's 66. No. What is it? Okay, THC. 68% THC. Now, that's pretty high for weed. You know what I mean? For like regular weed. Bud. Which is, that's what I smoke mostly. I don't smoke the concentrate because that's through the roof. I don't smoke the fucking pens or the vapes that much. You know what I mean? Once in a while. I'm mostly a flower guy, you know? So, yeah, and I got something for the alcohol guys, too. I'm going to take the camera in there. Hopefully I can take it in with me and show you guys. I got a refrigerator full of all kinds of alcohol right now. Not to mention I have a whole plethora of shots here. Whatever. I mean, last week we did a Jose Cuervo shot of tequila, which was fun for somebody who donated. I really appreciate that. Shout out to them. And I got a refrigerator full of beer because I had my daughter's graduation party from high school, like her little graduation we did with just family and friends. And Shannon and I went to BJ's, and Shannon always goes nuts when we do this type of shit and buys extra. And I knew we were going to have a fucking refrigerator full of good shit. So I was like, hey, fuck it, let's do it. And we spent a good amount, and we bought like a ton of alcohol. And a good amount of it went, but not as much as we thought. So now I have a fucking refrigerator full of like 3 different beers, like a case each, and all these twisted teas, all different kinds of flavors and combos of twisted tea. And there's a bunch of other shit in there too, like I think there's like a 12-pack of 22 ounce cores, a fucking a case of Heineken, and about 10 bottles of Corona, the old-fashioned Corona with the lime, turn it upside down, dip it in the brown, as Tommy NC loves to say. So, shout out to Tommy out there, wherever he is. Mm-hmm. Thank you. You're welcome.
But yeah, that's Tommy. So shout out to the old Tomza. We love you, Tommy. We love you, Bubby.
Mm-hmm.
We do, bro. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think I'm lying to you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go put a quarter in your ass, all right? Do me a favor. Other than that, in the news, right? Wait, well, let me check the chat. Let me see what's going on in the snat. Big Mark. Big Mark. Big Mark. Big Mark. Big Mark. Yes, Big Mark. It is Moon Rock. You want me to tell you what it says exactly? I'll tell you. Hold on. It says Moon Rock is something that fucks your life up. No. What does it say here? Where is it? Like, it doesn't even really explain anything. Like, cannabis flower, hash, resin bubble, cannabis flower, hash, rosin bubble, hash brontocolol, I don't know how to even say that, and something else is the mix. So the main ingredients is hash flower, which is weed, right? And then I guess, yeah, it's got hash and some kind of rosin. You got any rosin? We used to smoke rosin. You know what we would do back in the day when we were broke and we were young kids, 18, 19, barely had money for weed? Abel Solace, what up? We would scrape the inside of our bowl piece or our bong piece, right, and get the resin, that little gook shit, that nasty gook that builds up. And we would scrape that. And you know who showed us that? My friend's brother, who was like this big deadbeat. He wasn't like a deadbeat. He was only like 22, but he was like like one of those Metallica guys. Like, remember back in the 80s and early 90s, those dudes with like a mullet that would be running around like with the fucking jackets on, the leather jacket with like Metallica on it. And they were Metallica heads, bro. They were like deadheads, whatever you want to call them. But that's what he was. And he would be like, yeah, man, when you don't have weed, let me see your bowl. And I was like, what? And he was like, give me your bowl, fat boy. And I'm like, here you go. And he's like, look, you take a piece and you scrape. And I'm like, ew, that's the shit I throw away. And he's like, you throw it away, bro? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, your bowl is so clean. Get the fuck out of here. And he like throws at me. And I'm like, wait, you can smoke that shit? And he's like, yeah, dude, what do you think? And I was like, so the next time I ran out of weed, I had a little bowl to my bong. And I was like, yo, let me clean it and see. And I cleaned it. Oh, actually, my friend was over and we were getting ready to play a 7-game series of NHL. And he was like, you want to smoke a little weed? And I'm like, yeah, let's smoke before we play. And he's like, all right, go ahead, get some. And I'm like, I don't have weed. And he's like, well, neither do I. And I'm like, you're a dick. And he's like, well, let's, I was like, let's scrape my bowl. So I scraped it, and I winded up getting like a fucking pound of like this gooky black rosin, right? As my friend would say. You want to smoke rosin? So I fucking put it in the bowl, and we lit it, and it actually burned. And we got like really fucked up off of that shit. And that was doing the nasty, man. When you didn't have money and you didn't have bud, sometimes you got to do the nasty. Sometimes you got to take a hit of that rosin so you could play a 7-game series with your friend. You know what I mean? And laugh your ass off, and have a great time. Sometimes you got to take one for the team, Sometimes you got to fuck the grenade. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do it. You got to take one for the team. I take one for you guys. You know what I mean? No joke. I would. Oh, fuck up. I would. But I'm glad to see that too. Abel, what? What'd you say? Yeah, I heard, man. Yes, I'm so happy about that, dude. Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Colbert. Goodbye, you fucking piece of shit. They said it was because they're trying to cut back. They're trying to
save money. All right. Yo, listen, call it what you want. The guy lost his show, and they have no announcement of anything to, like, you know, replace that show with anything. And if that does go off air, that will mean that that line of show, which was connected all the way back to when they tried to rob, well, they did. They robbed away, what's his name? Letterman. That slot was Letterman's channel and slot, I'm pretty sure, right? And it's like that lineage is like dead with this now. And the lineage is fucked anyway when you got somebody like Colbert. Because you know what? At one point, I kind of liked Colbert in small doses. You know what I mean? Like, he was all right in small doses. Like, when he was on those other shows, you know, small little doses. But the guy really just became so fucking annoying because, you know what? He pushed his political shit and all this stuff on people, and he put up a big fucking brick wall. And it's like, why, if you're a person that is entertaining people in the entertainment business, why would you even tell people what you feel about politics? Fuck that shit. It's not about that. It's not about politics. When you're doing entertainment or comedy or something fun, why does it have to be about politics? You know what I mean? Like, if you're there putting on a show at that level, on air, on TV, in a late night slot, like, why would you even fucking waste your time, you know, like, because he's done some stupid shit in the last couple of years. I mean, you know, Colbert. He really has. He's done stupid shit. So fuck Colbert, you know? I mean, I'm sure he's going to pop up somewhere else and, you know, do some other shit or whatever. People seem to love the guy, some people. Hey, you know what? At one point, I liked him for a little bit, but you know what? Like, he's not my cup of tea now, I'll tell you that. I don't find him funny at all. I don't know if it's because I'm irritated on what he believes and how he reacts to things, or it's like he really is not that funny. You know, I don't know which one it is, and I could be biased because I can't stand the guy. I really can't stand him. You know what I mean? He's just not funny to me. You know, he might be. And listen, I've liked people that other people really thought weren't funny people either. So I get it. But this guy's a big dick. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned. And fuck him. You know? And you know what? I think they'll eventually fill that slot. Because how can they stop making a nightly show against the other shows? Like, they're going to find the right person eventually. God, who knows who that will be in their eyes? Who the fuck knows? I mean, you know, listen, The View and so many of these shows, like, I saw this video that, the fucking AI videos are getting out of control now, okay? They're getting out of control, and they're fucking everywhere, and they are literally, like, some shit you got to look at real quick because they make it look like video camera, like, level cameras, and you're like, did that just... And then you look a little bit closer, and you're like, oh, okay. Because there's something you could still spot every once in a while in those videos, you know, the AI's making. There's something you could spot there to tell it's not real for a second, you know? But, they're popping up fucking everywhere, man. It's insane. It really is. It's ridiculous how fucking the level that the AI is making now, the videos. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, I know. Bernie's always on his shit. And, you know, Bernie's like this far. You know, I know now he doesn't look as far as he once did because of the other schmucks that they have in the Democratic Party at this point. But Bernie is a far out fucking, like, weirdo, man. Like, when you really hear the shit that this guy wants to do and the shit that, like, he would implement if he was president or he was, like, mayor of your town or, you know, mayor of your city or governor or, like, that guy scares me, man. All those Democrats scare the fuck out of me. And I have a feeling after a while the Republicans are going to scare the fuck out of me. I just have a feeling that this whole country in like a long time might turn into something totally different. And you know what? Like, hey, let it be, man. You know, like, whatever it becomes, it becomes. Just do the right thing. That's it. Just whoever's in charge, just do the right thing by the people. That's it. It's plain and simple. Do the right thing for the people in America. That's it. If you do everything from that start, you'll be fine. Start out with our government, do everything for Americans, make every deal, do every deal that you make every trade, every move that you make for the betterment of Americans. And that's all I ask. It's not much. You know, if you just work from that spot outward, I'm fine with you. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're a male, female, male and female. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. You got to be human, though. That's the only thing. You got to be human. I give a fuck about that. But I don't care what kind of human it is. I don't care anything about that human other than that human being the right person for the job. That's it. That's it. And I know a lot of people feel that way. That I know, you know. But this guy in New York City, he's a whole nother thing. I mean, that guy just says one thing, and then a month later says another thing. Now he's against Antifa shit, and then he's for it, and then he's against it, and then he's for it. And his father's like, I think his father wrote some kind of book or shit or something, or he made a statement about being. Oh, he said this is what his father said, that you got to be sympathetic for like terrorists. You have to be sympathetic for them. That's what his father basically says, and or said before, and it's like, okay, yeah, okay, why would I be sympathetic for them? I really don't get that one, but okay. But yeah, that's what, and he's going to win. This guy's probably going to win mayor of New York City. There's almost no doubt about it at this point. Not unless, the only way that they can make this work is if those other three guys that are running against him all come together and pick one person and then all get behind that one person and push it forward. That would be the only other way of beating that guy. But that's not going to happen because Cuomo's a piece of shit. If anybody's going to vote for him, even one or two people, that motherfucker's going to be in the race. Because he's got the money, he's got the time, and he wants the power bad. This guy is a power-hungry piece of whacked-out, drugged-out, crazy motherfuckers. I'm telling you, the Cuomos are like almost like a fucking mafia family, all right? You don't fuck with them, all right? You didn't fuck with their father, you don't fuck with them, right? They will destroy you, all right? A little person like me, they'd go just like that, crush you, right? So he's going to be in that race no matter what, this fucking idiot. And then the other guy with the fucking bandana who used to fucking Sleewell, he's a New Yorker. This guy's lived in New York his whole life. He got shot up by the mafia. He took 5 hollow point bullets in a cab in New York City. 5 hollow point bullets with the doors locked and cannot get out of the car. Had to climb into the front seat with the guy who was shooting him to climb out the passenger window to get out of the car. Well, he was being shot profusely by a Gambino family hitman in the cab with the driver and himself. And he got shot up and he lived. And then he found out that it was John Gotti Jr. and his father who ordered the hit on Sleewell. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. He said it in an interview. You can go look it up. This guy's run for mayor like twice now. And this is the guy who started a whole group of people with those red bandanas on, and they would go out and they'd police the city. And you know what? They did make a difference, but the city was a shithole in the 70s and 80s, all right? And it's going back to that, a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying New York City is going to be back to graffiti everywhere and burnt buildings and shitholes. But we'll see. I mean, listen, I don't live in the city, so I don't really give a fuck. But I'm like literally 10 minutes away from his zone where he's going to run shit, bro. And if this guy gets in, Mangini, Ghani, Gablani, or whatever his name is, he's going to do some crazy weird shit with the city. And he's going to try to tax fucking white people. He basically said that like a couple of times now. He's going to tax the rich, the rich, the rich. And he's like, and all these area codes. And the area codes were all white, like white, rich white people. Which, you know what? Listen, they already tax the fuck out of them. And you want to tax them more, they're just going to leave New York City. And then no one's going to rent out your buildings. all your skyscrapers, and then you could just put all the homeless people and all the people that don't want to work and collect a government free everything because he wants to give everything away. Let them move into the skyscrapers. I don't give a fuck. Let them all go to the city and let them all live there. And then when the food runs out and everything runs out and they need stuff, then they can go to the outskirts of the city and pillage. We'll go back in fucking time. We'll go back to the medieval days, you know what I mean? Let's go back to the medieval time, you know? Barbaric shit. You know what? You know what's going to happen in New York City after a while? You're going to have people eating people. You're going to have fucking famine and fucking death drives and fucking death runoffs where they run into your apartment and fucking rape and pillage your fucking apartment building. And the family gets chopped up and fucking grim shit. That's what's going to happen in New York City eventually. Watch. If this guy wins, man, they're headed towards Armageddon. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going back to fear-mongering now. Here we go. We're fear-mongering. Hashtag fear-mongering. But yeah, so, I mean, this guy wins, who knows, man. But I don't give a fuck because I'm not going to be there. So, fuck the guy. Yeah, the Guardian Angels, yeah. He started the Guardian Angels. And you know what? They did make a difference, but the city was a shithole till Giuliani took over, okay? Now, if Sleewell had anything to do with that, I don't know. But unless all those idiots, Adams is already the mayor. If you don't think he's going to fight to the bitter end, then you don't know what, because he's not going to back somebody. So Adams is hoping that these guys just bounce out for him. And they're not going to do that, these two guys, man. Sleewell, as a Republican, he definitely ain't bouncing out. And, you know, Cuomo, he's not going to leave. Cuomo's got the time, the money, and the footages. You know what I mean? Hashtag Tommy's footages. So, like, you know, come on.
Me and my two coaches
couldn't even take this guy out, all right? So, Tommy and his 3 coaches couldn't even fuck this guy in the mouth with a quarter. What? But, yeah, so that's basically where they're at. And so the odds-on favorite in Vegas right now is him, and he's going to win the whole fucking thing. You watch. And, hey, listen, sucks for my sister. You know what I mean? Sucks for my sister. I'll tell you that. She's going to be living underneath his shit. They're going to have government food markets, and they're going to give free daycare, right? Free shopping at, like, the supermarket, like free food. What else was it? Free buses. Free New York City buses. And he's going to expand where all the bus routes go to. So he's not only going to expand and up and make it better and bigger, but he's going to give it away for free. And when he's asked, where are you going to do this? Like, how are you going to do this? What are you going to do this with? How are you going to make this work? He doesn't really answer. He's gotten into a little bit of detail, but if you really listen to this guy, he has not really given an answer on anything, because you know why? He doesn't have an answer. Because he's doing what every politician seems to do now and lies through their fucking teeth and promises, like, the best things you can promise. I mean, if you're fucking in New York City, by the millions and millions of people that live in New York City, right, that are fucking mentally, like, disturbed already, right? You don't think they're going to hear free, and not vote for that? Free, white's the devil. Free, white people suck. Free. You don't think they're going to vote for that? Come on. Let's be real. Let's fucking be real. Let's be real. All right? It's over. This guy's going to win unless a miracle happens in New York City. All right? So that's going to happen, and then we'll see if this guy keeps his promises and he starts giving away everything for free. And then if it all works, then you know what? He goes down as the guy who radically changed everything and it worked. Holy shit. He's the one guy who made it all work, right? Or he gets in there and doesn't do a goddamn thing and says, well, now I'm mayor and I'm going to fucking do whatever the fuck I want and make this a fucking
my town. And that's it. We'll see. And there's no way Adams is going to win. I don't think. With all these people in it, they're going to take that vote away. So he's done anyway. So fuck him. So hey, fuck you. Yeah, I'd like to know the Vegas odds. Yeah, people are supporting him, man. They're the dumb fucking idiots, man. They really honestly think, like, I heard a couple of people being interviewed that support him, and they're basically like, he's got such great ideas, and he's young and energetic, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm sure you like his ideas. Like, you're on your 5th fucking abortion, you know what I mean? And you got 7 kids already, and you're not with a man, and who's taking care of you? The government, of course. So, yeah, of course, when this guy comes around waving his fucking dingleberries, and he's like, I'm going to give everything free to you, daycare, everything. And he's like, I want the minimum wage to be like $30-something, I think he's saying. $31 minimum wage in New York City. Like, dude, and I'm going to tax all the rich people even more on top of the tax that they're already paying, right? State tax, city tax, government tax, right? They're gone, bro. That I'm telling you, the same shit's going to happen that happened in the 70s and 80s. All these companies bounced out of New York City. All these factories, all these, like, owners, they all bounced out of New York City because it was a shithole. And then once they left, it turned into a big ball of shit for like 30 years. It was a hunk of shit until Giuliani took it over. Swear to God, I'm not even joking. I used to go to it and look at it as a kid. I was going to Queens as a kid in the 80s, and it was a shithole. There was fucking spray paint and like corner hookers and crack and fucking breakdancing and fucking you name it everywhere. Every street. Every corner. It was a shithole. You can ask anybody, especially deep in the city. 42nd Street, 41st Street, 5th Street, all those areas in New York City, downtown, the Bowery, all those areas that in the fucking mid, to, like 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, all the way up to like 2016. New York City was like fucking Disneyland. Disneyland. You could let your kids just run around and walk around the city like it was great. It was fucking awesome. We used to go there for Thanksgiving parade. We would go on a Wednesday night late and we'd watch them blowing up the floats, and we would bring our kids there to this park where they blow up the big floats for the next day, where the floats are going through the city on the Thanksgiving Day parade, blah blah blah. And we would watch, and it was like so safe. There were cops everywhere. There was no violence. You can even see the death rates. If you look up the death rates in New York City, it dipped so fucking low in the early 2000s all the way up until COVID. Once COVID hit, everything went back up. It's crazy fucking weird. All the violence, all the fucking killing, it skyrocketed again. It was gone for like 20 years. It was literally gone for almost 20 years. Since 9/11. I swear to God, since 9/11, the city was like, clean as could be. There weren't even a strip club anymore. I mean, like, New York City was full of these triple X spots that had all kinds of sex, like people dancing and strip clubs and you name it. It was right there, right? And all of those were gone. All that shit was gone, bro. Gone. Like, you didn't see one of them anymore. It just didn't exist anymore. It was totally gone. And it's been gone for the longest fucking time. And I don't know if it's back, but I heard the city's pretty fucked up now. Like, there's all kinds of crazy shit happening. A lot of violence, a lot of, like, you know, crazy people walking around, and it's not good. Like, it's not a safe spot anymore. So that's why I get nervous when I hear my daughter go, I'm going into the city this weekend. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Now I'm going to be on Life 360 all fucking night.
you know. But she goes to the good spots because there are good spots if you know the city. And, you know, all the locals know the city. They know where to go and where not to go. But that, knock on wood, that doesn't mean anything because the city is a shithole right now. And if you go into Times Square, it's not a place where, like, Tommy NC 2010 could, like, walk out there and do an inspirational speech out of nowhere. I mean, maybe it is because he'd fit right in at this point, I think. You know, because there's like 40 people just like him out there just speaking to nobody, just wandering around going, and if you, and also if you, just walking around and, you know, just people are like, oh, yeah, it's normal. They're fucked up, you know. Tommy would fit right in probably. But, you know, it's just a weird place now, man. And if you stop by, like, one of these people that are dressed up in, like, a character suit, like somebody could be fucking Garfield. Like, you could just go throw on a Garfield suit and go down to Times Square and just jump in front of somebody and let somebody take a photo of you with somebody. And then all of a sudden you got your hand, they just put your hand out. And they expect money from you. And if you don't give them money, they literally get aggressive with you. They get aggressive with you. I literally saw fucking Big Bird beating the shit out of this dude. Like, just giving him knees and shit. His whole fucking orange leg was going up into his head and shit. And I was dying laughing because he had the fucking feet on and everything. And it was like this big fucking bird beating the shit out of this little guy, dude. And he had just big fucking mugs on him. You know, I was laughing my ass off like, holy shit. And these people can just throw on whatever suit they want. You got Batman walking around. And these people that are from out of town walk into Times Square thinking, look at all the characters and look at all the TVs and the lights. And these people don't realize that these people there that are dressed up like, you know, Little Red Riding Hood. I mean, look how I look. I look sweet and nice, right? Nope, that's really the wolf. You know what I mean? Because as soon as you take a photo thinking, I ain't paying for no photo on my own phone. No, you are. You're getting harassed. And if the cops, right, at one point, I think you can watch videos on YouTube. The cops are all up on these people, right? And at one point they were. I don't know if they still are. But at one point the cops would go into this area because they couldn't stop these people from doing this, right? Because it's like some kind of, you know, there's laws protecting like them from like that they're allowed to do it or whatever. But they were like interacting with them as they were like talking to people and trying to scam them. And the cops would be like, no, don't. Hey, listen, if you take a photo with them, they're going to ask for money and blah, blah, blah. Like warning people that they could tell were from out of town or didn't realize what was going on. And these people just walking around in little costumes, just walking around like idiots, like trying to get away from the cops. And the cops are just out there going, just move along if you don't want to. And I'm like, holy shit, like it was that bad. And if you like unmask these people, you better call ICE. Because most of the time it's like Home Depot guys, you know what I mean? It's like a little fucking dude in there that's like, holy shit, you're like 65 years old in there, bro. You look like a fucking boxer. He's got that punchy face at 65. He looks like a fucking, you know, a burnt matcha just fucking blowing in the wind.
For that dollar.
Ren McCormack tipped $1.
Ren!
Fuck Cuomo. Like I said in Footloose 1984, Ecclesiastes assures us
Fuck him.
that there is a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to laugh, and a time to weep. A time to mourn, and there is a time to dance.
And a time to dance, bro. That's the deal, bro. I mean, thank you, Ren. Ren McCormack. Salute to you, brother. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much, bro. Cheers. Thank you, Ren. Ren. Thank you, Ren. Ren, thank you. God bless. There's a time to dance. And that time's going to be next week because I'll be gone. And I'll be on a plane. No, I won't. I'm flying on my own. Like I told you guys, I rented wings. And the old wifey's going to jump on the old Kakyetol and ride it all the way to Tamiami, baby. Hey guys, I want to show you this too for all the potheads out there. Check out this little peninator. This is a little pen. This is a little preloaded little pen with some really good shit in it. And watch this hit you get off of this little fucking thing. Watch. pretty good. Not bad and very smooth. And you get pretty flunked up. Yo, I'm going on a little vacay with Filthy. And I'm going to be recording and maybe even going live at certain points throughout the trip. And we're going to be going somewhere and we're going to be traveling at least, I'm not even joking, 1,000 miles worth of traveling in a car. And I'm looking forward to that because I like traveling in a car in places I've never been. Like, obviously, I don't like driving around my own town and my own area. I'm so sick of fucking doing it. But being in another state, especially like Cali and Vegas and all that, and the Grand Canyon and all that, right? Like, we're doing over 1,000 miles in a car. So it's going to be moving around and around. So I'm going to be going live from period to period on foul mounts. And it'll be like weird times. So, you know, one time it's going to be like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I'll be live. And then another time it'll be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whenever. And I know some people listen to the streams like on earphones and this and that, so it really don't matter, like, you know, on a replay. So it really don't matter when we're live or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be going live periodically and maybe uploading just videos. You know, because I might take videos and then just upload them to foul mounts. So it won't be live. So you can look for regular videos in those 2 weeks and a couple of them and a couple of live videos in those 2 weeks. Some of them will be short and some of them will be long. But there'll be all kinds of different videos on there starting next week, the middle of next week. Let's just say next weekend we'll be in full fucking swing. All right, we'll be traveling. Hopefully, knock on wood, God willing. But we'll be traveling, and you'll start to see some videos already by next Friday, a week from now. You know what I'm saying? Mello hates me. We got into kind of like a little tussle about roulette table stuff. And I hit him up a couple of days later, and I apologized to him because I felt bad. I thought about it, and a person was sending me, a person was sending me little sound bites of me going back at Mello about the argument that not argument, but the discussion we were having about roulette, right? And they like slowed down certain parts of shit that I was saying and made it sound sluggish. And it was actually fucking really funny, but it was like, I think they were highlighting shit and like not playing anything from him. And I'm like, oh man, I felt extra like bad because I heard those clips. And I guess they did what the clips did what I guess the person wanted them to do. And I felt bad. So I hit him up and I apologized. And, listen, it is what it is, right? I mean, I never really, I fucking would argue over something like that, but it was like it turned into this whole thing, and I don't think I really understood what he meant at first, and I think he was like fucking like being a little, at first like, but that's not his fault, that's my fault. Like I should have taken it as a joke maybe or something in the beginning. I don't know, but regardless, I took care of my part and I apologized, and he was like, you know what, he's cool about it. He don't give a fuck. That's the way it should be. Because I honestly don't think that he needed to apologize to me for anything. But maybe I needed to apologize to him. I don't know. Now, Shannon heard it, and maybe Shannon said to me, oh, no, you were like, then I would definitely apologize. But I apologize on my own with Shannon, not even hearing it, anybody really telling me to say sorry to him. But I just did anyway. Because, I don't know. I felt bad once I heard those clips. You know what I mean? I kind of was thinking about it the day later. Like, was I bad? Was I, like, over the top? Was I, like, extra, like, shitty? Or was I, like, I don't know. You be the Buttigieg. I mean, if you want to listen to it, it's on there. I'm sure it's timestamped, or it might not be. I don't know. But, yeah. I don't know if my point is I don't think Mello's going to be around tomorrow night because he hates me now. And, I'm just kidding. He don't hate me now. I'm kidding around. He's actually doing something, I think. And he told me a couple of days ago that he's not going to be around. but he'll be around next weekend. But I'm going to be away. So we are not going to be broadcasting together for like almost 2-3 weeks, me and Mello. So, yeah, that'll give us a little break, right? I don't know if we need it or we do. I don't know. I don't think we do because, you know, Mello comes on because he's my friend. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, that's why he comes on. It's not like I never went to Mello and went, hey, bro, will you come on with me and, like, we'll make a deal and you know, like, no. It was like, you want to come on with all of us? You're more than invited. And that was, like, the same way with everybody, you know? Like, whoever wants to come on and fucking hang and, you know, like, put their 2 cents in and hang along and fucking do their thing. I love it, you know, more the merrier. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, because it's like, if you're willing to come on, you know, like, why not? So, and like, I've been looking into the phone lines, which one to get and all that, and I have it narrowed down pretty much, and I'll have it when I come back in 2 weeks and we go live for a regular stream. I'll have it 100% by the time I come back, and we'll be set up with the random-ass callers, can finally start calling back in, and we can finally start doing random-ass callers. Random-ass callers! Random-ass callers. Not random callers, but random-ass callers, bro. That's some random-ass shit, you know what I mean? Some random shit. Like, where you're like, what the fuck? Hey, and you know what we're going to be doing soon, guys, that you guys are going to love? We're going to be doing theme shows again. All right, guys? One night, we're going to be doing shows about aliens. Okay? Where the whole discussion, all the photos, all the topics are going to be built around UFO, IDDB, DC, whatever the fuck they call them. All that shit, because I'm going to be bringing someone on who knows a lot about it. And a couple of people, actually, on that know a lot about aliens and all that. And that's happening in 3 weeks. That's the first one. And there's a whole schedule behind this shit that I went over with Chris and a couple of other people, because he wants to be there for a couple of these streams that we're going to do, because they're about specific topics. So if you want to hear the schedule, I got the motherfucker right here. I got it right here, right now, right here. So, in August, right? It's August 9th. We're going to be doing UFO night, like alien night. That's the night. Saturday night, Insomniac, UFO, alien, EED, whatever the fuck he said it was. I don't have the paperwork, the shit up on my phone, but it was like UFO and then IED, whatever that is, shit. And then like all this other crazy shit having to do with aliens and all that. So it's basically going to be, there's no other talk but that for that night. Right? Right. Then we're going to be doing, I think, the 25th? No, the 23rd. Yeah. August 23rd, which is like 2 weeks after that. I think we're going to be doing like a theme night like we used to do back in the day, as far as like where the topic will be about like one thing. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know which one that is, but it'll be that night. So it'll be every other week in August, starting on the 9th. So August 9th, and then, wait, where is that thing? I could tell you right now. Yeah, August 9th, August 23rd. So it's every other week, and then into September. So we're going to be doing it into September, and we're going to be doing certain topics just for that night. So there won't be anything mixed in with that. We won't be hitting on politics. We won't be hitting on none of that shit. It will be gone. Goodbye. Now, if you don't like shit about aliens and UFOs and all that shit, well, then you don't have to tune in. I'm sorry. I apologize. If you're like used to other shit, it's basically going to be like everything we do already, but just about that topic and other topics having to do with that. So that'll be those nights every other weekend in August. And I'm looking forward to that, because at least it'll give us like some kind of little bit of a schedule and like what we're going to be talking about and what topics, specific shit. Obviously, if anything big happens within those months, we'll hit on that too on the other day, other weekend, or whatever, and we'll shuffle it around. But it will be in August, so just want to let everybody know that. Hell yeah, tomorrow's yo, I'm going out tomorrow. I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a nice weekend. Start to a nice weekend. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a nice Saturday. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? What's up? 506 in the house. 506 in the house. 506 in the house. Yeah, Filthy and Chris, right? Because I went to both of them and said, like, yo, when you guys, I was like, when do you guys want to do certain shows, like, so I could put you down for them? And, like, they were both like, yo, August is good with us, so I'll be on in August. And I was like, what if we do a show about, like, certain topics? And right away, the first thing that came out of Chris's mouth was like, what do you mean? Like, you know, like aliens and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, well, that could be one show we do. And he was like, yeah, I would love to do that. So the whole topic between three of us at that point on there was like, yo, let's do one about aliens and UFOs and all that shit in August, the first weekend that we can. So that's the 9th. And then he was like, and we'll do it like every other weekend just to make sure that we could, like, you know, tell people what it is a week leading up to it. So it's going to be good topics like UFO. Like one topic might be that, and then we might talk about ghost and shit, like weird phenomenon type shit a week later and show videos about that and talk about that, right? But it's not going to be, you know, politics and random ass topics. Now, if there's big news, like I said, in between those shows, we're going to do those big news whatever, you know? Hold on one second. What's wrong with this thing? Yeah, I don't know, man. You hit me up now, brother. You always hit me up at the worst time, dude. You know? I'm on doing a live stream, and you gotta bother me. Nah, I'm just kidding. You never bother me. I love you, brother. Are you listening? Stop texting me. I'll talk to you when the show's over. You know what I mean? Unless you want to come on. If you don't want to come on, then 42, and I'll talk to you later. Oh shit! What's his name? 13 in the chat. 13 King says one time 5 years ago, I got lost looking for a voiceover studio for a class. Ended up at Times Square by accident, which was never by my class. Yeah, well, that's a fucking crazy place to end up by accident. I swear to you, I'm not even kidding. I've ended up in Times Square by accident as well, because I used to do bread and milk delivery when I was 17 years old with my uncle, right? And he would do bread and milk delivery into New York City from Long Island, right? And when we would go into the city, once in a while, I was driving because I just got my license, and I knew the route like the back of my hand because I was on it a million times since the time I was like 9 years old all the way up till I was like 25. But I would fucking drive the route. And I remember one time in the beginning when I first started driving, I got lost and I made like a right and took this block straight down when my uncle was in the back, like putting all this shit away and like moving stuff around. And I ended up making the wrong turn and literally ending up in the middle of fucking Times Square, in the middle of gridlock traffic, where my uncle finally comes to the front of the truck and looks and goes, "You stupid motherfucker, we're going to be in this for an hour." And we were in this shit so fucking long. My uncle was like, "We're going to fucking run out of gas. You fucking idiot." He was yelling at me the entire fucking time. We were in traffic for an hour and like 20 minutes till we could make a left-hand turn to get off of one block. I put us into the middle of a juggernaut, gridlock, fucking New York City heat, demented fucking shithole, pus pocket, fucking 1995 shithole. But anyway, yeah, so Times Square is right now, I mean, it's still a great place because it's like, it is a beautiful spot to be, you know? I mean, if you go there, if you've ever been, it really is a nice. I remember when it was a shithole and it had like nothing but hookers and drugs everywhere. I swear to God, I remember it. But it really has been, it was a nice place at one point, and it still is. I mean, to look around and see all that shit on buildings, it's fucking crazy. I mean, right now, it's all like those big TV screens at this point. That's all it is, everywhere. You know, there's no more like sick-ass signs like Coca-Cola would put this fucking huge sign in the middle of Times Square like that was made out of like the sickest shit. But now it's all just, yeah, they own that Jumbotron, they own that Jumbotron, they own that Jumbotron, and a lot of like neon lights. But if you ever seen cities in like other countries, like I think Japan and China and this and that, they light up all their buildings with like sick colors and shit. And it's like, I don't understand like why you know, New York City or any place in the US don't do it like that. I think some people do, and you know what? The Empire State Building does light up pretty crazy now. The entire building lights up. But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Let me get a drink because I'm fucking dying of thirst here. And I packed a little bit of a cooler tonight because it's pretty hot out. Oh, well, it was pretty hot out today, but it's been hotter. Like 3 days ago, it was like, if the real feel was like 101 at like 7 o'clock at night. All right? No joke. It was fucking hot. Tonight, really low. I think it went down to like 74, 75, 6, somewhere in there tonight, which is perfect. Perfect, right? But it's supposed to get really fucking hot again in the next couple of days. But hey, I only got like one more week or half a week of work left, and then I'm taking off from the center of the house, man. And we're gonna fly all the way to the West Coast. And you know what? There's all this driving we got to do. We already have to drive like fucking over 1,000 miles, and I would love to go to so many other spots. I can't even visit my cousin who's gonna be there in Cali. I was gonna go meet up with her, but it's like so far out of the way, I can't add it in. So it's like, you know, what am I going to do? And a couple of friends that I wanted to go see. And it's like, unless they meet me like halfway or meet me somewhere on the way or in the middle or at the spot and make a weekend of it, then I'm not going to be able to see them, you know? But we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? You gotta do what you gotta do, man. The wifey is like, we're sticking. I'll tell you what, Filthy is all about scheduling when it comes to vacation, guys. Like, he's like, here's the regiment, here's what we're doing, here's what you know what we're doing? We're gonna be up at 3 o'clock in the morning, their time, I mean West Coast, right? 3 o'clock in the morning to see the sun rise in a certain place at a certain time. And he wants us to go do this. He wants us to be there that early in the morning for the sunrise, which I think is like 5:49 their time or something like that. And I'm like, at 3 in the morning, well, we got to leave at 3 to make it there by like 4:30 for an hour later. The sun rises and you're going to see the sickest shit ever. And it is a certain spot that everybody goes to see the sunrise. So I guess it's supposed to be this crazy thing. But yeah, we're going to be doing that one morning fucking really early. And that's going to be weird. But, you know, we'll see how that is. I mean, I'm not one for the sunrise, you know what I mean? I'm like, whip-de fucking do. All right? You know what I mean? Whip-de do. The sun's coming up.
Like, I love the sun, don't get me wrong, and thank God for it. But, yeah, I get you. I mean, I know it's a wonderful, breathtaking thing. I get it. You know, it is. But 3 in the morning? Really? Vacation? 3 in the morning. All right. I'm game. Just give me one of them chocolate bars, and I'm game. You know what I mean? But we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be good. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, look at these two.
Look at your feed. This is all you're going to see. We know that Byron has been the head of astronomer page. Thinking, oh my gosh, how many people are watching this? And unfortunately for these two, a lot of people have seen it. We're talking about these two who were caught in the kiss cam, and Coldplay's frontman at the concert calling him out, saying, did we just expose a big secret? Watch.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Well, the two quickly ducked out of view where they tried to. The woman even threw her hands on her face trying to hide her identity, but it was too late. That's not how the internet works. These sleuths identifying the duo as Andy Byron, the CEO of the company named Astronomer, and his chief human resources officer, Kristen Cabot, the head of HR. Cabot is reportedly recently divorced, but Byron appears to be married, or at least he was. According to reports, his wife removed her married name from her Facebook page before she just deleted it altogether. The internet cannot get over this viral clip. If you look at your feed, this is all you're going to see. We know that Byron has been the head of Astronomer, which is a data company based in Cincinnati since 2023. Cabot joined the company a year later, and in a press release we found, Jillian, Byron said she is the perfect fit for this company, and Cabot said she was really energized by her conversations with Byron. The viral moment was posted on TikTok and viewed millions of times, like more than 6 million times as of now. The woman who posted it told the New York Post, hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. She said she didn't feel bad about posting this online. A fake statement also reportedly from Byron talking about this was posted by a parody account. That's made the rounds, but that's not the case. He did not comment. We reached out to the two senior execs and their company, Astronomer, for comment, but we haven't heard back. But, you know, as you know, Jillian, from all these stories being shared online, this isn't going to go away anytime soon, so we'll see if they comment.
Alexis, I don't think you're going to hear back. I don't know why. This is not funny. I don't know why I'm smiling, but we're going to leave it there.
I think it's just shocking, you know? I think people are like, what the heck were they doing? So
it's very sad for that guy's family, obviously.
We're going to step lightly. We're going to step lightly with our karma, okay, ladies? Brian Brenberg, co-host of The Money Show on Fox Business, and Deborah Lee, Parlor Brand Voice here in New York. A day to both of you. New York Post has Dumbotron. Yeah. Deborah?
Well, the one good positive of this, because cheating is awful, it's nice to see that society hasn't fully morally decayed and we still despise cheating. Every single person on social media has rallied together that this is awful, this person deserves to be exposed. So at least that's a good sign for some health of American society, right?
I could not have said it any better.
There you go. So we still have a society, I guess. Most people are happy about this guy getting finger fucked. Most people are happy. Karma. Karma's the son of a bitch. Karma. Straight up fucking karma. Karma's a bitch when you make fun of fucking shit and you cheat, or you lie, or you steal, manipulate. Karma's a son of a bitch. And you know what? Karma comes for all that deserve it. And this guy deserved it. Look at him. Just look at him. Just look at his face. Right? He looks like a smug CEO fucking twat.
You know what I mean? One of these fucking guys that think the world revolves around them. They don't care for anybody. They don't give a fuck, man. You know? And you know what? It couldn't have happened to a better fucking guy. How about that? So he's banging his employee. Yeah, real good CEO. If I hired this guy as a CEO, I found out about this, and I'm like an owner and I didn't know about this, I'd be like, you know what? You're gone, motherfucker. You are gone, you fuck. You're banging somebody. You don't shit where you eat, bro. First of all. If you're going to cheat and you're going to fucking do what you're doing when you have a family especially, you don't shit where you eat. This guy goes and dips his dick in the first fucking place a wife would look. Right? This big bad money boy puts his cock right in a fucking spot where he eats. Lays his beef right on the fucking table where he cuts up his steak and eats his grits. Right? Sits down and fucking drinks and eats and rubs his hands there and puts his food there on that plate and table. Right? But he puts his cock right where he eats. Right? He puts his cock there. I'll bet he takes a shit. You don't shit where you eat, bro. Right? Go take a fucking huge feces dump right out of you. Go squat right over the spot where you eat. Go fucking squat and splash one right out on the fucking table. All over the fucking table. Go splash one out right where you fucking eat. And then you know what? Go fucking eating it afterwards, you fucking scumbag cheating your kids like that. You fucking shit where you eat. You fucking, look at you, you smug motherfucker, you. Shit where you fucking eat. Shit where you fucking eat. Karma fucking come for you. Karma come for you. Yeah, fucking shit where you eat, you fucking dirty sack of shit. You lying, cheating, stealing, fucking cocksucker!
Donuts.
Fucking
donuts.
Motherfucking
donuts.
All night.
Donuts.
Every night. Donuts right.
Donuts.
Make me feel.
Donuts.
Donuts right. Fucking donuts. I love them. Fucking donuts.
I'm in the best shape of my life.
Hey, my nickel. Well, if that CEO thought the Crypt Keeper was good looking enough to finger bang that corpses, more power to him.
Hey, he's finger banging fucking the Crypt Keeper. She's like, I want you to now fuck me in the crypt. Suck and fuck your way to the Crypt Keeper's heart. So I want you to suck me in the crypt. You piece of shit. May you get cancer under you piece of shit who visar esorda fango della vesere mandala. Feel the dark side of the Force. Minnesota Vikings, feel the dark side of the Force. When you make your Bluetooth speaker, you will feel the dark side of the speaker force. There'll be no bass in your speakers ever again. You will live bassless for the rest of your life, Minnesota Vikings. Damn, Minnesota, you're going to live baseless the rest of your life, bro. You don't want to do that, dude. You fucking don't want to fuck around and get some P. Diddy shit happen to your dick, bro. You better get the super sickle cell anemia glide, son. You better get you some of that sickle cell anemia glide.
What?
Yeah, that sickle cell glide.
What?
That super glide, baby.
What?
That sickle cell anemia glide, baby. This one goes out to Abel Salas Jr. All right, you guys want to check in on some of the rounds? We'll check in. I'll check in. We'll check in, bro. We'll check in.
We'll check in. Let's do the rounds. Right? Listen to this. We'll cue this up for you guys as we look at this dork. Asshole, rub it on me, asshole, and not e asshole, not e fucking. All right.
I'm surprised. You see this going.
You don't know my asshole. You sucking asshole. Suck my fucking asshole. A knotted ass crack.
What the fuck is? Why is my phone going off like a fucking? Naughty fucking asshole. So this is what Alex Jones is saying about the old trumpet and the trumpets and the trump. And if you listen to Alex Jones now, this is the latest. Alex, this is today. I mean yesterday. No, is it today? It's today. This is about. This is him talking about Trump and the latest on the Epstein. On the Vlepstein trial, I mean on the Epstein case, on the files, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it now. List, files, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Depends on who you believe. But we're going to play a little bit of that. Can you hear it? Oh, shit. This guy once dominated YouTube. Do you guys realize that? Werden und sanken Fleischen und Scheißer und dunkeln Fleigern Humin Scheißer und dunkeln Scheißer.
The last 10 minutes of it. Thursday, July 17th, 2025. I am your embattled host with my intrepid crew coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas. Austin, broadcasting worldwide. All right, I just was on Steve Bannon. It was a very important interview. It just ended 3 minutes ago. So as soon as the crew can grab that, I want to air the last 10 minutes of it. Here's what I'm going to do again today. I'm going to open the phones up. And I've really prayed about the Trump situation. I've analyzed everything.
Yeah, okay.
And I know exactly what's going on. I know the truth.
Yeah, okay.
And President Trump is telling the truth. And I understand why he's enraged. I've also talked to
he
sources.
understands. Yeah, he understands.
And I was so dumbstruck 12 days ago by that memo, and then knowing Trump was behind it.
Yeah, okay.
And then his response saying, shut this down, stop investigating, without any clarity. And then coming out Sunday, 7 days later, and saying, no, they've had the file. They filled it full of BS. Brennan, Clapper, Comey, of course, that's who controlled the file. And that totally makes sense and is true. That's their MO. That's all they do. But Trump has done a F-. I mean, my God, it's worse than an F. I mean, it's like a 0 on the Streisand affecting and not having clarity and flip-flopping back and forth. It's just been horrifying. But that said, I've had a lot of clarity last night and this morning, and I have some congressional reports out. They've now saved over 30,000 children in sex slavery and slave labor. You only hear about it here and there because under law they can't reveal.
So he's going to go bash the fuck out of him about the Epstein shit, which has been doctored. We can all agree about that now at this point, right? The Democrats had
control over the Epstein files or list or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? For a while, right? And they obviously would have dropped it if it would have burnt Trump in any way, shape, or form, right? And they didn't, right? But they had time to sit there and doctor the fuck out of it. That's number one. And they did. So probably, maybe that's what's going on. They're all their names, everyone that Trump is and knows and is friends with and is important are all on that list, right? And they're all fucked, right? And it's like they're all like, okay, well, we obviously can't put that out because it's all our names. It's none of their names that fucking were here before us or anybody else that we thought it was, and a lot of other innocent people or something like that. And they're like, hey, you know, like, so what are we going to do? And it's like, okay, well, I mean, what did the other people do? They doctored it and got rid of shit, and they got rid of stuff. Well, then you have to go after those people and find out what the real list was. Like, that would be the next step. Like, is that where we're at? Maybe he don't know that, or is that where we're at and we don't know that? I don't know, man, where we're at.
You know,
I really don't.
3-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds, because they're juveniles. But when you see the raid on the big pot farm, and now it's 14 kids, some as young as 8, working in slave labor and God knows what, you're able to learn about that little window because they attacked them with...
So they found this place, I think in California, that were having young kids of the ages that he just mentioned working on pot farms and working for like shit labor. And they were illegal kids that were here illegally, you know, that were undocumented and basically were in slave labor, you know. So it's like, wow, you know, and you want to give this guy shit about anything? Like, we don't know what the fuck's going on with this Epstein shit. We don't know. All I know is Trump's not into kids. I mean, I do know that, right? I could almost guarantee that, you know, but who knows in this world, man? Who the fuck knows? Because I stumbled upon this fucking documentary today that's pretty old. It's about almost 20-something years old. And it's a good documentary, man. I could highly recommend it. And some of you probably seen it already, but I'll tell you the name of it later.
Clubs and guns shot at them and cinder blocks smashing out their SUV windows, attempted murder. I mean, somebody just runs to my truck throwing cinder blocks at me, I'm going to shoot your ass. That's attempted murder. But they've been very restrained because they know the Democrats want blood. They want violence. They're trying to get ICE to respond with deadly force. So they can then, oh, my God, they killed us, Civil War. I mean, that's in the Democrat Civil War plan, Podesta plan from 2020, which they rebooted. But at the same time, cops are sitting there with cinder blocks bouncing off their heads, and then they don't shoot the people doing it. I mean, if it's on video, throwing cinder blocks from 50 feet above, bouncing off cops' helmets so hard.
He's talking about the people attacking all the ICE agents throughout the U.S. and in certain areas right now. It's going on. And there's a lot of fucking Democrats that are fucking inciting all of this shit, obviously. So, I mean, he's talking truth here.
The helmet flies off and the cop collapses. Side issue. It's just... The point is that they are doing so much good dismantling the deep state.
Now, you know, it's like he goes to commercial to sell his fucking supplements, like, right away, number one. And number two, what he just ended with there, you know, they're doing so much good. They saved all these fucking illegal kids, undocumented kids and shit, right? But yet, later on in his live stream, he is fucking, you know, ripping into Trump.
The people being spied on.
Over this shit.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. On them, that's come out. You know, we are state absolute total crap. Probably done a landline interview in a long time. To be a dimwit. Operatives.
So there's this rumor.
Our destiny in your hands.
There's this rumor now that Epstein was a operative through Israel. So, I mean, that's some crazy shit, okay? Now we're going to start talking about him being an operative. You know, listen, and it's not only fucking Alex Jones saying it. There's a lot of people saying this, that Epstein was like this fucking operative. But, listen.
You are not key to the fight. You are everything. And you will decide whether you're listening on talk radio or watching on X or Alex Jones or Infowars.com, the people are working through us. So I refuse to be a dimwit. I refuse to engage in one-dimensional and two-dimensional thinking. I could oppose bad things Trump's doing all day long and try to get him back on track, while at the same time supporting the overwhelmingly good things he's doing.
So at this point, right, he's literally saying that Trump, when Trump made a speech the other day, he talked about the people that are still talking about Epstein, and he like basically called them out and basically said some crazy shit, not crazy shit, but like some blunt shit. Said, if you want this shit and it's so much important to you and all this, and you're my ex-supporter and you have a problem with me at this point, then basically go fuck yourself, he said, right? Alex Jones at this point, in this speech that he's saying, right, it literally is saying that Trump said that about him. Like, he singled him out, and I know Trump said that whole speech was about me. So I don't know if it was or it wasn't. I personally don't think it was. I think it was about other supporters that are having a problem with this, that are really big of his. But he seems to think that it's definitely of him. But take a listen to this. So this is.
I mean, somebody starts running to my truck throwing cinder blocks at me, I'm going to shoot your ass. That's attempted murder. But they've been very restrained.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. We gotta
say this and pulling us out of the WHO and so much more. We've seen bold, dramatic, amazing, spectacular developments.
Now, look, this is him buttering everything up, saying all the good shit that Trump did, just so in about 10 minutes he can fucking utterly trash him.
And I have to balance that on the scales and then look at the bad stuff Trump's doing. And 9 times out of 10, when something evil is put in a bill and we expose it, it gets pulled, and it wasn't Trump. And that's why they want this broadcast off the air, and others like it, because they know, as a populist movement, we are more powerful than all the corporate media combined. And we're now able to control the agenda. When they had the UN treaty legislation in the spending bill, when President Trump was just president-elect, I told him the information, it's another Russia hoax, because Trump didn't know, we're going to release it. They go raid it. Democrats wouldn't turn it over. He died because of God working through us. So I refuse to be a dimwit. I refuse to engage in one-dimensional and two-dimensional thinking. I could oppose bad things Trump's doing all day long and try to get him back on track, while at the same time supporting the overwhelmingly good things he's doing. So many people, and this is the way the corporate media does it, want to make it a black and white issue or a left or right issue, or you're either totally do whatever Trump says, or you're a traitor, or if you support anything Trump does, you're bad. And that's why stuff with Trump coming out over and over again the last week, don't question Epstein, or you're with the Democrats and you're an idiot and I'm done with you and we don't want you in our movement. People say, well, he didn't write that Truth Social post, and then he goes out in press conferences and says basically the exact same thing. That is horrible. But then out of the other side of his mouth, they're going to appoint a special prosecutor, probably Ed Martin. Great, on the Epstein thing. And so my frustration is the handling of this. When Trump came out Sunday, 7 days in, and went, Comey, Brennan, and Clapper all had this file for decades. They filled it full of disinformation. It's another Russia hoax. Because Trump didn't know, we're going to release it. They go raid it. Democrats wouldn't turn it over, but they probably leaked on themselves. They get it. And there's a bunch of unsubstantiated crap in there. Guaranteed it'll be the 5 Jane Does that all turned out to be fake, saying Trump raped them and stuff. Turned out those were all fake. Remember that? It's guaranteed FBI files on that. That's what it is. And I've been thinking that the last 4 or 5 days, and I made some calls, and people go, how do you know this? We're not going to confirm that to you, but how the hell do you know that? So that's it. And it's not hard to know that. What did they try before? What did they do before? And you got, Trump in St. Petersburg or Moscow being peed on. Not true, totally fake, admitted fake, created by Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Comey. And it goes on and on. Pure crap. I'm not going to give you an hour dissertation on how Trump, A, isn't into being peed on, and B, he is a total control freak, meaning he's in charge of himself and very deliberative. He would never go be compromised by a group of people. He's never been in the club. That's why they hated him. He did stuff on his own. So it's all lies. So the issue here, though, is the way Trump threw a fit and didn't articulate this properly gave our enemies an incredible tool, whereas the Democrats that never wanted any Epstein files released now suddenly want them released because they were in control of the file and would, it's not even obviously, of course they expunged all the stuff about them and then put a bunch of Steele dossier style innuendo and crapola in there.
All right. So if that's what he believes, and it does sound like, you know, listen, that they would do this shit. They would literally fucking take names out of that and add shit, whatever they wanted to do, manipulate it, which is against the law, right? They would do that, I'm pretty sure. And they did. Let's say they did, right? And he's right. Why do they have to put it out there then? Like, wouldn't you want them to not put it out there? I mean, innocent people are on it. Like, why would you want the list to come out? Why sit here on the radio day in and day out, night in, night out, talking about putting it out, put it out, and say that he's so dumb and he's stupid that he didn't put it out, that he hasn't put it out? Why? I don't get that part.
There were 5 different Jane Does that said Trump raped them when they're 14 here. Trump screwed them at Epstein's place there. And then it always came out that it wasn't even real people and it was Democrat law firms. And then you got E. Jean Carroll. That's all. I mean, just on and on and on and on and on and on. Long before they tried to implicate Trump and all this crap, I know a lot of people that know him, including Roger Stone, and I asked him about New York Times articles in the 90s. And I taught people that are very close to Trump. And I already knew Trump's proclivities. And Trump, actually, this is a big secret. About 15 years ago, he actually went and did operant conditioning training for a while. I don't know the details. To be able to shake people's hands. Because he's such a germaphobe neat freak. And you can look that up.
Like, do you hear this shit that Alex Jones talks about on his show? This is a big secret. This is a big secret. He went to class to learn how to shake people's hands. Dude, this guy is from Queens, New York, bro. He is a businessman that made his father's business, which was like small cookies, and took it to be this fucking huge thing, right? And you think that he needed to go to fucking class to shake people's hands? I doubt that that is true. Okay? I doubt that that is true, number one. And number two, even if it was, how and why would you tell that story on air? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't get it.
Actually, this is a big secret. About 15 years ago, he actually went and did operant conditioning training for a while. I don't know the details. To be able to shake people's hands.
People's hands?
Because he's such a germaphobe neat freak.
People's hands. You hear how he says that at the end of that? Like, fucking weirdo, bro.
And Trump, actually, this is a big secret. About 15 years ago, he actually went and did operant conditioning training for a while. I don't know the details. To be able to shake people's hands.
Hands.
Because he's such a germaphobe neat freak. And you can look that up. It's come out before he was in political that, you know, he was a germaphobe. And learned his proclivities, let's just leave it from that, from a lot of people. And the type of women he likes and, all of it and what he does. So
now, mind you, during this stream, right, that Alex was doing for 5 hours, 4 hours, he literally said like 5 times in this stream that he predicted certain things that have happened in the last like 5 months. As soon as the topic comes up about that certain thing that has happened, he right away refers to, I predicted this weeks before. And like he literally says that about almost every topic. I predicted. He if at this rate he predicted everything that has happened. And you know what? He has. Because he's said every goddamn fucking possible scenario that could be said during these shows. So, yeah, he's going to hit on something.
People before I get behind him. And so, yes, it's absolute, total crap. Yeah, Donald Trump's going to land in Moscow or St. Petersburg and go to a hotel and have women he doesn't even know piss on him. When Trump instructs his, tells his wives and he's in a divorce, girlfriends, you got your side of the house, you got your bathroom. I don't want any, I knew this before they ever said the piss thing.
Oh, my God.
Trump doesn't like his wife or anybody to, because you're married, your wife will sit down and take a piss in front of you. I'll piss in front of my wife. But Trump is so neat freak. He doesn't want to see his wife. That's like, I don't want to see you in the bathroom.
This is what this guy is talking about, man.
He peed on. He's the complete opposite. He loves golden furniture and crisp golf courses and has his staff sit there.
He loves golden showers of piss
on the airplane while he's writing memos. The guy washes his hands like 50 times a day. But no, he's being pissed on. So it's just crazy. So, yeah, of course, the very people that did all that, and it's now all come out, declassified, Obama, Brennan Clapper created it all, the fake dossier, the PP gate. And I got to say, I rarely miss an angle. And I didn't completely miss, but I dropped the ball. Let's just be completely honest. I kept saying, whatever's going to be in those files that's incriminating the deep state, they're going to get rid of them. They wouldn't really be keeping 14 terabytes of kids being raped by Jeffrey Epstein in New York. We know Comey controlled the file. We'll use it for blackmail, but... And then when they got it all and said, oh, it's all there, I was like, that doesn't make sense. But of course they'd fill it with a bunch of child porn just as a red herring or a rabbit trail and a bunch of other crap. And original, reports or innuendo, FBI stuff from, 2014, 15, when Trump was criticizing Obama. Remember all that? That's when they really started going after him. So they put NSA wiretaps on him. That's come out. We broke that, by the way. Sheriff Joe Arpaio had the DEA give him their access to the NSA file. And Arpaio had gotten it to Trump and his people, but nothing been done with it. So he came on my show. Remember that? What is it, like 2016? And Arpaio gave it to me because he said, well, you're in it. And they had a landline I never use. Never. I mean, I use it like on Coast to Coast AM. I've probably done a landline interview in a long time. Because the phones are now over Wi-Fi. It's better. Digital ones. And I mean, I'm reading this thing and I'm going, that's my landline. That's my old house line. That's my private off.
So anyway, that's what he's saying. So I want to play this for you guys. This is Mark Levin, who I listen to every once in a while. And he was basically talking about like Donald Trump people who are questioning him, who are like no longer supporters of his because of this Epstein shit. And he mentions fucking Alex Jones without mentioning his name. Alex Jones actually mentions Mark Levin at the beginning of his broadcast the same day and says he's one of these guys that are out to get him. and that he's a Russian spy and all this bullshit. But Mark Levin says shit about like people sucking off of Trump for the longest time and then turning around and going against him on this. But anyway, I want to play this for you guys. Yeah.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811. Hello, 877-381-3811. Welcome, welcome, and welcome again. What is an influencer? Where did this word come from? I can't stand this word. It's like ceasefire. I can't stand that word, Mr. Producer. Victory is what I like. That's a word I like. Victory. But an influencer, what does that mean? It's like progressives. They go, oh, we're progressives. No, you're not. You're Marxists. I'm an influencer. With whom? Even saw Mike Pence got in on the game. And they need to release everything in the Epstein files. You know, Mike Davis, he put out a really great post, and I will get to that in a little bit. We're not going to spend all day on this, that's for sure. But there's this guy on CNN. He's their data guy, Harry Enton. This guy makes poll numbers and data numbers exciting.
He does.
Exciting. But he's also a pro. He calls it as he sees it. Even over at the Constipated News Network. And I want you to listen to what he has to say. Now, we've had 2 weeks, 3 weeks of this Epstein stuff. We have people pounding themselves on the chest saying, I've told the president he has to do this. I told the president he has to do that. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. The base is really angry with the president. Really angry with the president. We've got to discuss these things. We're really going to dig into this stuff. We got to... Bondi needs to go, and this one needs to go, and the other one's a crook, and that... Excuse me, slow down. Oh, and the Jews, Mossad, they're behind the whole thing. Okay, hold on.
Yep, that's what Alex Jones was saying.
I've told you before. You, the American people, Mr. and Mrs. America, are to be treated with respect.
Yeah, I know that's a long time thing about Epstein being with the Israeli like intelligence, but it's heating up now with Alex Jones and a bunch of other people. They wrote about it in, I forgot what magazine it was or paper recently, but it's starting to heat up to the point where they're talking about it again.
You deserve respect. If you're going to take the time to listen to some podcaster, whether they use subscriptions or whether they do hits or clicks or whatever they do, if you're going to take the time to watch a television program or listen to a radio program, if you're going to take the time out of your life where you can do 1,000 other things, then you should be treated with respect, not manipulated.
Exactly.
Not talked down to. Not fear-mongered to. What is this influencer stuff? What does that mean? That they have this incredible influence on you, Mr. and Mrs. America? You don't even know who 98% of these people are. Nor should you, because they don't matter. So they've created this other world on the internet and social media, this other world, where they interview each other, where they post each other's interviews, where they think they're God's gift. Most of them have accomplished absolutely nothing. Most of them have done absolutely nothing for the country. But they know how to put together seminars and organize stuff. They know how to interview each other and get headlines on Mediaite and the Drudge Report. And they work very closely now with the left-wing media, the Democrat Party media that hates your guts. They're literally exposing themselves. It's not a very pretty picture either. I want you to listen to this gentleman, Harry Enton, and at CNN, and they have new poll numbers. And it's not just them, all the polls. And you know what they're showing, Mr. Producer? that since all this brouhaha that's been created and the manipulation attempts against you, aimed at you, targeting you, President Trump's ratings among Republicans have gone even higher. They're like at 90%. They've gone higher. It reminds me of when President Trump made the bold decision to bomb those nuclear sites in Iran. Remember all that? 5 weeks of attacks on him, me of course, but 5 weeks of attacks. 94% of MAGA Republicans supported what he did. 94%. You can't do better than 94%. There's no better than 94%. And now 90% of Republicans back Donald Trump. And the media and the lefties and the Democrats and now these influencers, as my wife calls them, and I think I'll call them now, these de-influencers, have no impact. As a matter of fact, the impact is the opposite of what they're hoping for. I want you to listen to this. It's very important. These are facts. This is information.
Now listen to this shit. This is crazy because you got a guy like Alex Jones who's telling you for 3 hours, 4 hours that this thing about Epstein and Trump and the way that Trump handled it was so bad that he's losing his base supporters. Then Trump puts out this fucking thing about, hey, if you don't support me anymore and you're like want the Epstein files out and that's the most important thing to you, then basically go fuck yourself, right? And this guy is basically saying, well, no, listen to these poll numbers.
Cut 16, go.
I mean, look, I think this one surprised me a bit because of all of these complaints online going after Trump and the Epstein files. You might think his approval ratings were going down, Republicans. If anything, they're going up. Republicans who approve of Trump, look at our CNN poll. The prior one, 86%. The one out this week, 88% were Republicans. How about Quinnipiac? The prior poll, 87% approve of Republicans. This week out, 90% were Republicans. If anything, Donald Trump's approval rating has gone up since this whole Epstein saga started. He is at the apex or close there too in terms of his popularity with Republican voters, Epstein files, complaints, or not.
You just proved that not everything online is real in real life.
Now let's stop there.
Exactly. So when Alex Jones sits there and acts like it's the end of the fucking world because he gets frantic in this week's all his shows this whole week, but in this particular one that I'm playing this shit from, he gets frantic, man, and starts snarling and going over the fact that, you know, this is the end of support for Trump, and we're going to call him out, man, when he deserves to be called the fuck out. You know? And he handled this wrong, and he's in with the deep state. He basically said a week ago that Trump made a deal with the deep state, don't kill me, and I won't put out your names that's on the Epstein files. That's what he was saying the whole fucking week. This guy makes crazy claims and all kinds of fucking crazy shit he's saying lately. Like shit like, Trump doesn't like pee-pee. He likes gold, and he likes women, and he learns how to shake people's hands and gets taught how to suck and fuck his way. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You think you know everything. You think you literally fucking call it, like it happens, people report it, and then all of a sudden he starts claiming the next day, I called it 4 months ago. Every time. It's like, this guy's out of his fucking mind, but whatever, like, whatever.
CNN is doing this. We ought to be doing this. Fox ought to be
that
doing this.
That CNN poll was great, bro. Huh.
I told you before, this online stuff, this social media stuff, is a cesspool. It's a cesspool. And so bigots and racists and anti-Semites, they rise to the top. They don't need many.
Yep.
To have a following and to make millions. They don't need much.
Yep.
They don't need much. And listen to these people. Self-aggrandizing. They're narcissists. They're egomaniacs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
About all this influence they have. They have no influence. None.
None.
They have no influence. I told you yesterday. Donald Trump got elected president because Donald Trump got elected president.
Now, Alex Jones on his stream, in this stream that I'm playing from, and during the whole week, What I mean, at one point he flipped out and said, I'm part of the reason why Trump got in the first place. I'm part of the reason. We all banded behind him. I pushed for it. I'm the one who... And then this caller called in and said some shit about, man, you need to run for president. And he started laughing and saying, the only way I would do that is God above came down and told me to do it. And, like, he'd be the guy to be like, God told me to run for president, thinking he would win. Meanwhile, people really would never vote for this guy to be president. I mean, come on. But this guy is so narcissistic that he really thinks in his mind like he could be president one day and that he has, say and should have control over what Trump's doing and saying. And it's just crazy what he thinks, bro. It really is. When you sit there and listen to him and where he's at, he really is fucking out of it compared to like 5 years ago. He's like, it's crazy.
Nothing to do with these self-anointed, self-identified influencers. They did.
So basically my point at this point is this guy Mark Levin is definitely talking about Alex Jones right here.
No podcaster. I don't care how big they are. You elected Donald Trump. You wanted Donald Trump. It didn't matter what these Lilliputians or these reprobates had to say. And it doesn't matter today what they have to say. Because he's doing the things that need to be done to save this republic. From the border, from the economy, to the military, deportation, supporting the cops, cutting taxes. You and I know.
And saving all those kids. All those fucking kids, man, that were fucking sex trafficked and are working slave labor and all kinds of, crazy shit that he saved all, like 30,000 kids, they said, or some shit that have been documented.
But for Donald Trump, this country would be dying. Can you imagine? And we're going to let some punk ass with a microphone and a video tell us what to think? Whatever happens to the Epstein matter, happens to the Epstein matter. It's not going to determine whether we're a free country, whether the economy is robust, whether we can deport criminals. Nothing.
Like, look, I agree with that, what he's saying right there. Like, listen, the Epstein shit has no matter over the main problems, right? And the main things that Trump has done so far. But, like, I mean, can we know who wanted to have relations with kids? Like, can we know those names, please? So we can have these people called out in society? And if they did some crazy shit, have them have their day in court? Can we do that? Or is it too fucked? And if it is, tell us. And then we can move on.
Zero. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
Amazing.
Twitter and X are not reality.
Is there any reason that you can find that this hasn't...
You understand what he's saying? Because he's correct. Social media is not reality. It's not. Now, it can be a good livelihood, a good career for these de-influencers. I got it. They can get very wealthy off it. I got it. But what did I explain to you last week and the week before? They have to get increasingly radical, increasingly extreme in order to draw attention to themselves. They've got to draw attention. They've got to have eyes and hits and clicks and subscribers. They've got to draw attention to themselves any way they possibly can. They monitor it not only on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. And so they're not focused on 330 million Americans. They're focused on maybe 1 million Americans, maybe 5 billion Americans, whatever it is. And then you have these websites like Mediocrite or the Sludge Report. They're not focused on 330 million Americans either. They just need enough hits and views and so forth and so on to make their business profitable. That's it. There's a whole underworld going on here. They call it new media. We hope that new media would be better, but big aspects of new media are even worse. They're even worse. They have ridden Donald Trump. Ridden Donald Trump. They've held on to his suit jacket. so they can be noticed. So they can be noticed. They're trying to exploit him. They claim that they're responsible for his victory and that he is answerable to them, meaning you and I are answerable to them. No, we're not. Not with these punk asses. No, we're not responsible to them. We don't answer to them. I want to play this from the top, then we're going to move on. But this is very, very important. Start at the top. Cut 16, please go.
I mean, look, I think this one surprised me a bit because of all of these complaints online going after Trump and the Epstein files. You might think his approval ratings were going down, Republicans. If anything, they're going up. Republicans who approve of Trump, look at our CNN poll. The prior one, 86%. The one out this week, 88% were Republicans. How about Quinnipiac? The prior poll, 87% approve of Republicans. This week out, 90% were Republicans.
And keep in mind, these are not friendly pollsters. CNN and Quinnipiac. They're not. They're not friendly to Trump or Republicans. Go ahead.
Approval rating has gone up since this whole Epstein saga started. He is at the apex, or close there too, in terms of his popularity with Republican voters, Epstein files, complaints, or not.
You just proved that not everything online is real in real life.
Who knew?
Amazing.
Twitter and X are not reality.
Is there any reason that you can find that this hasn't taken hold and hurt him?
Yeah, I mean, on X, all you hear about is the Epstein files. But how about out in the real public? Republicans who said the top issue was Epstein case. The answer is one, and not 1%. One responded. This was a great little.
I swear, in this fucking stream that I'm playing from Alex Jones, at one point I remember him saying 9 out of 10 Trump supporters are upset about the Epstein files and list not being put out and how you're handling it. You are losing support big time, Trump, big time. And he started screaming about it. That motherfucker said 9 out of 10. He makes these claims. He makes these big fucking claims. 9 out of 10 Trump supporters are mad about the way you're handling this Epstein shit, and you're losing your support. That's what this fucking guy says, man. 9 out of 10. I love it. I love it.
A finding that Ariel Edwards-Levy, who of course is part of our polling unit, found just one single Republican.
You understand that? With all the people they interviewed for the polling, one person said this was the top of the list. One. Probably one of these de-influencers. Go ahead.
Wow.
Problem is, in fact, the Epstein case. Not much of a surprise that, therefore, Donald Trump's approval rating has not suffered with Republicans because of the Epstein case. Because the bottom line is most Americans say it's not high up on their priority list.
And this is how we lose a midterm much if we don't focus on the Trump victories.
Wow. Now that's much different than what fucking Alex Jones is saying. So much fucking different, man. It's crazy.
That's my old house line. That's my private office
He
line.
was fucking. I gotta play this one clip from him. I gotta play this one.
NSA.
Hold on.
Leave down, takes a little poll to get whatever. How if Lee thrown in prison for 50 years. Fear is the tool of a tyrant. Fired federal prosecutor Maureen Comey tells colleagues, "You're the tyrant witch, and your father put me under national security investigation in 2013 and tapped all my phones. You're the threat to national security. The idea that I would work for a foreign government. The idea I would take money against my country, you scum. You hate America, filth. Burn in hell. You are the traitor. You are the enemy, not me. I hate your guts. They have run all the lawfare and the attacks on my family and everything else. They've stalked me. They've attacked me and my crew. They tried to put me in prison and put Owen in prison. You are monsters. You are the tyrant. You are the plague. You are the enemy. You are the danger to our republic."
You know, this guy's been under so much fucking pressure in the last couple of years. It's like, How could he not fucking break down and lose his shit? I mean, you know, sued and lost millions upon millions. The company's about to be taken away. But you know what, though? He's going to survive, and he's going to keep going, and he'll rebuild another company, and he'll be right back to where he started, because that's him. He just lives for it. Everything about him is this. You know, if you really talk to his family, they even say, like, he's obsessed with it. He can't leave it alone. It's a constant. I'm coughing because I just took a fucking moonbeam to the face.
Sold out to Jesus Christ. That's my boss. That's who I work for. Healing people. Against indict the globalist and keep saving the kids and all that and keep the border shut down. In the aggregate, it's, you know, thousands of times, 100,000 times bigger than Epstein's intelligence operation. If for whatever reason they don't have the resources or it's old cases or whatever, people aren't going to buy it, but I understand it. I understand the thinking.
He does sound like Mr. McMahon.
But for God's sakes, don't tell us that it never existed and these aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along. Just please. You cannot say something worse to make everybody think you're guilty, Mr. President. And I know you're pissed off.
Listen to this.
Well, thank God you started telling us on Sunday, oh no, it's Brendan, it's Clapper, it's Comey, which is a whole foul record. That's already known. And of course they would do something like that. I mean, I don't even think it's a question. Of course they did. So, special prosecutor needs to go through it all. They need to bring it out. And it's going to be FBI interviews 2013, 2014, when Obama was targeting Trump at first, with the original Jane Does. They knew he was going to run for president. They had his phones tapped. And they were trying to find something, and then they rolled those Jane Does out right before the election, but it turned out they weren't even real people. Remember all that? That's what's in there. Trump ought to come out and have a damn press conference about it and say directly and say, we're going to indict your asses for this. And then indict them and then...
You know, I love how he's got it all figured out. He knows exactly what's in those files. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows exactly what Trump should do. He knows that Trump's listening. He knows that Trump put out that message about him. He knows that, like, that's what this guy is going with. Now, is he right? I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think that Trump put out that whole thing about him. I honestly think that he was talking about this guy that I watched this other show, this streamer, and he said that, no, it's about this guy who donates billions to him, and it's Elon Musk. Because Musk owns X, and right now on X, there's this whole big thing about the Epstein files, and there's this big movement against, like, Trump not doing the right thing. And they really call it the cesspools of X, but whatever. I mean,
all the FBI agents that raided all the Epstein facilities and took all the hard drives and DVDs and say, where is that, or we're going to indict you? Where'd you take that? Where'd you take that? Because that was the Democrats doing that. That was Comey, the big one, the daddy. And we now know from the documents from the CIA that indeed they ran it and went and paid Steele and gave it to the DNC. It wasn't Hillary. I mean, she was part of it, but it wasn't the DNC. They just pushed it. And Seth Rich knew about that, and you saw what happened to him. So I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. People say, well, this is paradoxical. You're really pissed off at Trump, but at the same time, you support him. Well, of course, it's like anything in this world.
So if you admit that these people changed the documents and made it all about Trump, and it's all manipulated to look like it's about Trump because the documents were under control of Democrats, right? And that's what he said earlier. Then why the fuck are you mad at Trump?
But at the end of the day, I want to play this clip because this is just an example of what I'm talking about. They now have the testimony, and they now have the newest reports that are getting 2 months old. 30,000 children in sex slavery and in slave labor have been found and rescued.
30,000 kids that have been rescued during the Trump presidency that were let in during the Biden presidency that were put into sex and work labor camps and situations, right, were saved. That alone right there, right, is an amazing thing. That this guy comes into office and cleans up someone else's evil fucking doings, because as a president, to let that happen and to let all these undocumented children into our country to be used and abused like that is fucking insane to me.
$87,000, again, 6 months ago, were identified where their last address was and who they were given to. And you ask, why are you having Robert F. Kennedy Jr. so much with Ed Martin there at the DOJ and his new 800-person, billion-dollar funded task force of government weaponization? It's because HHS under Biden took control of the records of where the kids went, and the Border Patrol and ICE wasn't even allowed to know. That was covering up the trail. So now he's gone and given that database to Ed Martin. You can imagine what's going on. And that's why Congressman Clay Higgins, who's awesome and former law enforcement, is letting these NGOs know that's who you go after next. And then it goes right to the top. Mayorkas, get ready to be wearing orange jumpsuits. And I'm sorry, it's 35,000 rescued children, and that number's 2 months old.
Damn.
You're like, well, why isn't it new? Statistics take time. They're always a few months behind. So that is great, and I am so excited about it, and praise God. So we're seeing real action, and we got Maureen Comey fired by the DOJ overnight. We've got her already...
But yet I'm mad at Trump because he didn't put out the Epstein files. I'm so pissed at him, and there's such a growing movement against him, and he's losing support because of the... But you said that the Epstein files are full of bullshit, that they manipulated them. Yeah, but I'm pissed. He should still put it out.
Whining and calling Trump a tyrant. That is wonderful. You've got Kennedy purging the big government, corporate-run Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson boards, putting in patriots and real scientists. You've got them firing more people today that are globalists. We'll be getting to that. Maha shakeup. HHS Secretary RFK Jr. fires 2 top staffers and appoints new acting chief of staff. It's on. And then you get, but as the dust settles, I've really been saving the economy, the trade deal. Stop a moment. All right, let's go ahead and go to Congressman Higgins talking about the good news.
And according to my research, which will very soon be revealed next week, they've rescued so far 35,000 tender-age kids. How you like that? Now, according to Ms. Hopper's research, which I find fascinating, and everybody up here should, 70% of the documentation turned in by so-called sponsors, which were lined up by who? The NGOs. Through who? Primarily HHS. It was a pipeline, man. We fed a pipeline of tender-age children into sex trafficking.
Wow.
And slave labor into our country.
What the fuck?
We're finding these kids. We're tracking this fraudulent documents. You're right, Ms. Hopper. My research showed a little bit less, 65%. You said 70%. I'll go with 70. So be advised. Be advised. We are building out case files, criminal case files. We're interviewing these 35,000 kids, and we're finding out exactly what the hell happened, how they ended up in the nightmare where they were, and we're rescuing more. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. We're going to identify these children. We're locating these children. We're rescuing these children. And we're building out criminal files based upon the testimony of these young teenagers and the documentation of fraudulent vetting. And many of these NGO employees are going to find themselves wearing orange. Be their new favorite color. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the indulgence. I yield.
Wow. Holy fucking shit, man. They're going to get to the bottom of it? Yeah. Well, you know what? If I see that, that'll be some crazy shit. If they actually find out who fucking touched these kids, who put them around, who put them where and why. And you know something? For the President Biden and his administration and the people that were running our country at the time, for those people to fucking let this happen and do nothing about it is insane to me. It really is. It's fucking a shame that we had a president, that we had a government at that time that was letting kids over our borders and letting them basically be pimped out for work, for sex, for anything. And that some of these people were in on it and actually used to purchase kids to work with them and to come and work for them or to do whatever kind of work. I mean, all kinds of fucking different shit. It's like, we really let that happen in America? Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? God bless America? Really? Really? That's a fucking shithole. That's a fucking hellhole, man. You let kids in your country and you let them be fucking pimped out like that? Like we're some third world country bullshit? That you got to be afraid of that type of shit happening in America? And we want to raise our fucking families and have kids in this fucking country? Are you kidding me? What the fuck? That's fucking horrible. That is fucking downright horrible. That happened in our country. That we had a president, we had an administration, we had a government that fucking let that shit fucking happen. I cannot fucking believe that. I really can't. I'm sorry. That is just horrible. Horrible on our part. And we sit there and, like, say God bless America and we think we're better than some of these other countries and that, you let that happen in your country, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, honestly. Fucking horrible. That is horrible, man. $35,000 kids, and they're interviewing all these kids, trying to find out, like, yo, where did you go? Who took you where? Who was in control of you? Who was, like, what was the deal? And give us names, give us, So, hopefully they get to, like, who the fuck did this shit, and they could actually arrest these people and bring them in. That would be, that'd be pretty cool. They finally do some shit, you know what I mean? Finally do something about it. Because we're not getting any names for Epstein shit, probably. We're not getting any names out of the P. Diddy shit. All these, like, high-end names in Hollywood and all these actors and actresses and rappers and singers are all running and fucking, it's like nothing happened. Stop the shit. Nothing happened. So, should you really expect anything? I don't know. I mean, probably not. Probably not. But who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out.
I appreciate the indulgence. I yield.
Remember, 3 years ago, the New York Times, just to cover its ass, did a couple big reports with thousands of children as young as 9, on average 14, in tire factories, cereal factories, grain processing factories, textile plants.
Throughout America.
And nothing against the North and places like Michigan. And
throughout America. What the fuck, man? Really? Kids?
there's some of it, but not much. It's
The people from each one of these places should be fucking like just.
It's in California.
It's.
And you know, and they're raping these kids too, and they're not even going to school. They're sleeping on mats, and then it turns out that the cute little girls are getting told, "Hey, you can go do this," and they're being pimped out. I mean, this is and this is the New York Times 3 years ago. I mean, this is holy mackerel moment.
This is reality.
All right.
I guess this is reality, right? I mean, I don't know.
And if we lose the midterm elections, I'm going to blame these de-influencers because they're undermining us right now. Trump is at the apex of his presidency. Mike Davis, a good man, a lawyer. You've seen him on TV, smart guy. Says, here's the problem with the Epstein mess. The FBI doesn't have the evidence many thought it did. There are no tapes with powerful men raping kids. There is no list. Epstein's Rolodex is already public, by the way. This is him. And the file's largely unreleasable for many reasons. Number 1, grand jury materials. Number 2, court records under seal. Number 3, child pornography, which cannot be made public. Number 4, the protection of victims and their names. Number 5, unsubstantiated, even double or triple hearsay, bogus claims like we saw during the Kavanaugh proceedings, which would permanently destroy the reputation of innocent people if released. Does anyone really believe Bondi and Patel and Bongino would cover up for the likes of Bill Clinton or Bill Gates if they had that evidence? The Trump Justice Department wanted to be fully transparent, but it can't for the reasons above. This is a case of no good deed goes unpunished. This is no doubt unsatisfying to many, but that's the hard truth. And Mike Davis is right. That's the hard truth. Now, you can go back and listen to the de-influencers. The other hard truth is that this effort to claim that our intelligence services, the CIA, who's now led by a great patriot, and the Israeli intelligence, Mossad, had anything to do with Epstein is such a bald-faced lie. And the basis they use it on, as I've told you over and over again, is the Daily Beast, a reporter who stated that I was told by somebody who was told, who said they told that the U.S. attorney told them that Epstein had intelligence connections. That's double hearsay. And I don't remember the word Mossad even coming up. These people are frauds, America. They're con men. I'll be right back.
Mark. All right. We're going to go to break. As we get out, need to go. The profits in a physical the team they have they can't have this stuff. And it was, I looked it up, it was the Palisades, and I said, I bet in the next.
Oh, he's talking about the Palisades where everything burnt down in California. I think they said they're going to put like low-income housing all over the spots or some shit he was talking about. That's crazy.
See, and that's the new FBI grand conspiracy probe. We'll see. They fired Comey's daughter today, so, I mean, I hear you. I'll say this. I'm not telling Trump about a cover-up. I don't want him to. But for God's sakes, if he's going to try to move on from this for whatever reason, thinks he'll bring down the economy or whatever, not endorsing it, but I could get the reasoning, at least understand why it has some logic, then stop saying don't look at it and stop saying there's nothing there. That makes it 10 times. I don't
he's like...
They're claiming that they haven't spied on us since Jonathan Pollard. That is just simply false. The Cubans, the British, you had no
feet in the air. Brown, thick line.
Sounds like you said they were spraying some like kerosene or some type of accelerant.
I'm telling you, it was so bad.
Well, they had leftists out by the hundreds on tape that we caught burning everything down. We've got bits and money off my name while saying I'm making money off them and attacking them.
Right.
So total, we're talking about, what, 109?
Now, and you can see how the year before the lawsuits filed and the lawsuits filed, they have big jumps in their revenue. 671% increase in revenue, the Sandy Hook Promise Action Fund.
So they're not making hardly any money until they come after me.
Right. Well, it just shows that they're making more money. I wouldn't say they're not making any money. They're pulling in lots of revenue the whole time, but
it goes up 600%.
Sure. And so for the Sandy Hook Promise Fund, they go from $5.83 million in 2017 to $13.6 million in 2018 when they filed the lawsuit. And then it jumps even more when they go from the into the trial. And if you look at what the Sandy Hook Promise Action Fund was making in 2021, their revenue shows $4 million, jumping up to $9.9 million in 2022, the year of the trial. And if you calculate it out from 2017 to 2022, a 3,000% increase in revenue. They're making a lot of money.
So they're talking about the Sandy Hook families who have a non-for-profit thing going on since their kids were all killed. And that's what they're talking about right there. That's crazy.
They only made $28 million during those years. I totaled it all up. That was their revenue there. Now, the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation, their revenue against you was $119 million from 2017 to 2023. So the year leading up before the trial to the year leading up after the trial, or the year before the lawsuit to the year after the trial, $119 million.
And let's be clear, they're constantly all over the news saying, I made money off them, I made my name off them. None of that true. They put 22 minutes of evidence in the trials of me talking about them. I barely ever even talked about it. I never created the story. It didn't happen. I just covered people asking the question. And then years and years after I hadn't even talked about it ever, they run the PR, they demonize me, they get me deplatformed saying that I'm sending people to pee on graves and to do all this stuff that never happened, to come to their houses. During the show trials, my lawyers are like, did anybody ever come to your house? Well, who told you they peed on graves? I don't know. Somebody told me. Who? I don't know. Yeah. So it's just, they just say whatever they want, run ads.
What's with this guy in piss?
Ads, raising all this charity money off my name while saying I'm making money off them and attacking them.
Right.
So total, we're talking about, what, 119 and how much more?
And then 28 million on the other one.
And of course, 75 million from Remington.
Yeah. And then you have your 1.5 billion on top of this, which is, when you add it all up, it just gets crazier and crazier.
And then they said that's not enough. We want 2.75 trillion, the GDP of India, whereas I've never had more than $10 million in the bank. And of course, now the accounting's done because they did 4 audits on me, including the IRS. And I made total in my lifetime on air $55 million. Right. And most of it went to pay lawyers. So,
as is the case with these things. So now let's go to the DOJ. And the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation got 2 grants from the DOJ back in 2022, the year of the lawsuit, the trials.
So now we're getting to the big new information.
This is the new information. And they got 2 grants, one for $859,000 and one for $837,000. Totaling $1.7 million. And they were awarded these in October of that year. And then here's 2 articles, one from a local Hartford, Connecticut news station and one from Forbes. They both mention, and they make it a point to mention these, that Koskoff, and Biter will get 1/3 of any compensatory damages recovered from Jones and Free Speech Systems. These articles were done in November. The firm says its legal costs have been nearly $1.7 million so far. It turns out it's almost the exact same amounts that they're getting from the DOJ.
You say almost the exact, it's the same amount.
1.7, 1.7.
You combine the 2 grants,
right,
and they come together to exactly 1.7 that they get within a month. Within a month,
yes. So this is October 1st, they're getting this money from the DOJ, awarded this money. And then
the people suing me that have charities raising hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right. The foundations. They're getting this from the DOJ, and these are the only
using my name, saying I'm victimizing them, and using it to censor me. They're raising hundreds of millions of dollars, and then they get DOJ grants.
Yeah.
And then a month later, they file their attorney's fees, and then they're paid that exact amount of money.
And there it is. And it's in 2 different articles. One's from Forbes, so that's a national, and then one a local news station.
And so let me just announce, we've been ready to sue them and have already filed some suits, but very serious ones for months, but we keep getting more information. We have even more than what you're seeing here today. We've been asked not to reveal. That's even worse, okay? But we don't just have CIA, FBI undercover tape admitting. We don't just have the head of the FBI counsel in Connecticut admitting he triggered it all and did it right in the timeline they admit. We now have the DOJ with grants directly to the foundations of the people suing me, a month before that then totals the exact amount that the Democrat Party law firm, Koskoff and Koskoff, then bills.
It's written right there in black and white. You can go see all this. It's all online. USA.
Damn, that is, if that's the truth, that's crazy. That is fucking crazy. If that is the truth, that is some crazy shit. Honestly, like, but if it's not the truth, and that's not accurate shit, what he's saying right there, he is fucked up. If that is not the truth, that is fucking crazy. But if it is the truth, I think it might be even more crazier, to be honest, because then they're in bed with, like, some part of the government that obviously Trump doesn't have control over.
Folks, the American flag is under attack. Don't you think got enough? But there is a connection in every single newer vehicle, and not that new, but newer vehicle, where you can plug in your handheld phone, you know, your on small minute president defeated the Soviet Union. Defeated the Soviet Union, America. Compelling information, a different way to think about liberty and rights, conversely, tyranny and the denial of rights. The word power. It's more than a word, it's more than a term. And there he is on CNN like he's just another politician. Again, August 9th, 10 a.m., Barnes & Noble, the section, and an ownership that's very motivated and excited there, and they are. And Barnes & Noble, was time to find a new location there, and we did a brand new Barnes & Noble. Is one of his progeny, political progeny, like AOC and so forth. So this guy Sanders is a commie, he's a Stalinist form of a commie. And there he is on CNN like he's just another politician. Cut one, go.
But the truth is that the vast majority of the people who are being picked up, put in vans, sent to detention centers, and God knows what else, these are people who do not have criminal records in the United States of America. And I should tell you.
Okay, before you should tell us anything.
Oh, my God, man.
America, what do our immigration laws say? What have they always said? We only deport people who commit heinous crimes? Is that what they say?
No.
Is that what they say, Mr.
No.
Producer?
Nope.
If you're here illegally, you're deported, or you're supposed to be deported because
Period.
You broke our sovereignty.
Period.
You came here uninvited.
Period.
You jumped the line.
Period.
You didn't follow the process.
Period.
So you come here illegally, you're supposed to be removed.
Period.
And so it doesn't say our immigration laws, passed by Democrats and Republicans, been in place. You know, the basic law has been in place since 1952. I looked all this up. The basic law, it's been amended from time to time. The basic law has been in existence 73 years. And it's never said that only people who come in here illegally and commit heinous crimes are to be deported. You're to be deported if you're here illegally, period.
Period.
And I'm going to get into this big time with my opening statement and tie it all together on Saturday on Fox, so I hope you'll watch it. But this is where they need to be confronted. Now, he goes on and on for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and he's not confronted by the CNN host because the host is either a moron or a lefty and a moron. Probably the latter.
So knowing all of what he just said, right? Obviously, if you're in this country illegally, you should be deported, correct? Correct. We all believe that as Americans and anybody else that has fought their ass to come here legally, right? And Bernie Sanders on CNN, and he's allowed to just say this, and nobody questions or says anything or...
Why do you think they bring this goon on, this thug on? Why do you think they do it?
Fucking weird, man.
Why do you think they do it?
Who knows?
Because they like what he says.
Obviously.
They like what he says.
Yeah.
So they'll bring on a Stalinist. Why don't they bring on some fascists? It's the other side of the coin, isn't it? It's the same thing, isn't it?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's close enough. So why don't they do that? Why? Because we've mainstreamed Islamism. And the Democrat Party is now embracing it and expanding it. That's why. And so I'm only playing this. I'm not going to play the whole minute and a half. Why? Because I don't want to stick a pencil through my ear. That's why. That's why. But I'm making the point here with this guy, and he's not the only one, that they're rounding up people who haven't committed crimes. So what? That's the way it's supposed to work. Now, I know this upsets him. I know it upsets Joe Rogan. I do, who voted for him. But so what? The vast majority of American people believe illegal aliens should be deported.
Yeah, plain and simple.
And there's also a reason to do it in addition to the law. You don't want to incentivize people to come here. Oh, I made it, but I won't commit a crime, so I get to stay. No, that's not the way it's supposed to work.
No, exactly.
Is it?
No.
Now, this isn't anything new. This is the way immigration laws are supposed to work. What's new is we have a president who's trying to enforce it.
Exactly.
He's trying to follow the law. The very people who say he's not following the law, they're the ones who don't believe in following the law. Then we have this guy, Maxwell Frost. Notice his name isn't Maxwell Smart. Maxwell Frost. He's very focused, by the way, on his skin color. He's always talking about race. And
yeah, this guy's
people
pretty
like
bad.
him and so forth and so on. But let's hear what he has to say about Alligator Alcatraz. Now, Alligator Alcatraz, essentially much of it was already built. They already had the runway there. They already had the infrastructure there. They really didn't have to do much to it other than refurbish it, strengthen it. But a lot of it was already there. And so Maxwell Frost, Democrat Florida, is very upset about all this. Cut 2, go.
No one with an eyes and a conscience can ignore what this really is. It's an internment camp.
Okay, so an internment camp. Now, this is what the Democrats do.
My God.
Everything that is law enforcement is the Third Reich and Hitler. And yet, those who follow the Third Reich and Hitler have a very comfortable home in the Democrat Party. We call them Islamists. We call them Marxists. Yes, the Marxists didn't support Hitler, but the outcome is the same, is it not, America? So the home of the Marxists and the Islamists, they're the ones who keep calling people names about dictatorships and totalitarianism. It's an internment camp, is what he says. An internment camp. Now, if you believe these detention centers are internment camps, then you don't believe in upholding immigration law, and no wonder you support open borders and oppose deportation. An internment camp.
I got my Alligator Alcatraz
No,
shirt.
he goes further.
I got
because everything has to be race with this guy.
I got
Go
my
ahead.
T-shirt the other
People
day.
who look like me, Latinos, Haitian men, subjugated to inhumane conditions under the guise of immigration
Latinos,
and
Haitian men. Most of the people who've come here with open borders are people out of the third world.
Exactly.
Like Haitian men, people from Central and South America, people from the African continent, people from the Far East, Southeast Asia, people from the Middle East. It has nothing to do with color.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with what people look like.
Exactly.
Does it?
Period.
It has to do with the fact that people have broken the law.
Period.
They've broken the law.
Period.
So this moron, this low IQ punk, number one, he calls this place an internment camp, which it is not.
No.
Somebody ought to pay for him to take a trip to Auschwitz or Dachau so we can see what
Seriously,
an internment camp looks like. Or maybe...
Serious.
maybe
Let this guy go to a real deal 1939 concentration camp, internment camp. Let him go there and experience a month there. And then tell me the difference between that and Alligator Alcatraz, okay? Tell me the difference between the both of those places. Go spend a month in a real deal thing and then call it that.
one of those 10 camps that was set up by Franklin Roosevelt. Truly, internment camps for Japanese Americans and Americans of Japanese descent. That's what his party does. That's what his party did. And notice he wasn't upset about internment camps under Biden.
No, none of them were.
You notice that?
None of them were. Nobody gave a
Notice-
fuck.
Are our prisons internment camps too? This guy's a moron. He's also a racialist.
One of them said these people have to poop where they brush their teeth. They have to brush their teeth where they poop. And everybody's like, well, that's where most people do that in their own bathrooms. You know what I mean? Like the toilet's pretty close to the sink, and you kind of brush your teeth at the sink, most people, and like you poop in the same fucking room. And this woman actually got up on stage and held a press conference and actually said, these people have to brush their teeth in the same area where they poop. Fucking morons.
Go ahead.
It's disgusting. It's un-American. It demands
What's un-American?
oversight.
Does this guy even believe in America?
It's un-American.
Does he even believe in the
How the
rule
fuck
of
does-
law? The
how does he
Constitution?
even how does he even know what American is, and why is American even anything? Because he hates everything about it.
believe in our immigration laws? What does he mean when he says it's un-American? What does that mean? We don't have open borders, and everybody who's here gets to stay?
It's un-American.
And so if you say no, that's un-American? No, that's quintessentially American. And by the way, that's every other nation on the face of the earth. It's not another nation. Well, Europe is destroying itself. Check that.
Christ.
Then we have Pramila Jayapal, another Marxist crackpot, comes straight out of Seattle. We love Seattle. We love the conservatives in Seattle. We can live without the rest. Pramila Jayapal. Cut 3, go.
Yesterday, I was at a food bank in my district talking about the SNAP cuts, the horrible SNAP cuts and Medicaid cuts. And they told me that...
Hold on. Medicaid cut?
Medicaid cuts that these assholes are talking about are like young people that can work, that can go out and get a job, that are collecting government payouts and not working, that are about to get cut the fuck off for the first time ever. And that's what they call cuts. Medicaid cuts. Medicare. Fuck out of here, man.
You Medicaid cuts? We're spending more in this budget on Medicaid than ever in American history, number one. But of course, you won't be challenged. Number two, illegal aliens are not supposed to get Medicaid. How about that? Number three, physically and mentally capable individuals are supposed to work at least 20 hours a week, even at a nonprofit, helping people eat, helping rescue dogs, helping those sort of things, in exchange for free medical care. But apparently that's a bridge too far. Some people would rather sit on their fat ass and get you to pay for their medical benefits while you're breaking your ass in your job.
Every fucking day I go to work, man, bust my ass. And some of those mornings when I wake up at 5 and 6, every fucking weekday, I say to myself in the morning, I'm like, what about that kid so-and-so that I know that has been at home for the last 3 years of his life, not working, collecting government checks, acting like he's got a bad back or a bad arm or a bad this or a bad that, and we all know it's bullshit, right? And all of his friends know it's bullshit. All of his family members know it's bullshit. But yet, he's just milking it and milking it and milking it. And we're all waking up and going to work and paying for him like dumb motherfuckers. Like stupid motherfuckers. Like, I mean, you know how many times I thought of that? Like, why do I have to get up and fucking go schlump to fucking work every day and bust my fucking ass day in and day out to keep my shit barely going? All right? Because I'm barely fucking making it. I'm like in the river underneath the water with a straw. Like the water level has already passed my lips. I'm breathing with a straw at this point. That's how fucking far in I am at this point. And I have to get up and do it every day in and day out. And then you get these fucking politicians who fight for people who don't work and they're not from here and they need all these benefits and all this free shit to just sit there and do nothing all day. And I have to work for it. I have to give a ton of my money for it out of my check. You know how much money comes out of my check for these taxes already to help people throughout this country? A ton. You know, like, when the fuck do I ever get help?
Now, Pramila Jayapal thinks that's perfectly fine. She calls that Medicaid cuts. She went to a food bank. Ladies and gentlemen, the budget's over $7 trillion. The debt is $37 trillion. And they're talking about cuts. Cuts to food banks. What the hell are they even talking about? Go ahead.
Are not even showing up to Head Start where they get their food. They're not showing up to the food banks because they're afraid. And it's not just...
Who's afraid? Illegal aliens. What is she saying there, Mr. Illegal aliens aren't showing up for programs that American citizens are supposed to have?
Food
you
banks.
See what I mean, America?
Food banks.
I have a better idea. Okay, I have a better idea for...
Let me go hold a press conference and complain that none of the illegals are showing up because they're afraid they're going to get deported. This is ridiculous that these people are being treated like this. Not our country's in shambles and we need money for this, this, and that, and we have homeless and drugs and this and that. Nothing about that. Nothing about that. No, the press conference is about, whoa, these people aren't showing up anymore because they're afraid they'll get deported. This is not right what we're doing to these people. Once again, a politician fighting for people that are not even from this country because they want these people to vote for them. They want to be able to have these people vote for their party, and they will. They'll probably have all these people that are illegal, that are still in the country, eventually voting for their party. Because once a Democrat gets in and all of them take over, they're going to push everything that way. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Paul, for Maxwell Frost, for Bernie Sanders, for...
That's why all these people are fighting for these people. That's why. If you're a person from out of this country and you came in here illegally, they are fighting for you 150% because you will be able to vote for them eventually. And they know it. And then they'll outnumber all of the other voters. So it'll be too late. And then it'll all be over. And then, it'll all be for, like, a certain type of person. And it'll be bye-bye for a lot of people.
Our friend Joe Rogan, who I don't know, I have an idea. Why waste our time? Why should these people even come to America to get freebies if we don't deport them? I have a better idea. You know what it is, Mr. Producer? I've mentioned this over the years. Why don't we just export the wealth that we create in this country to the rest of the world? Why don't we just do that? Why go through the motions? If people are here illegally, and they have a right to stay, and they have a right to have welfare benefits and all kinds of benefits, why make them trek all the way through God knows what to come to the United States when we could just send it to them? Why don't we just...
Yo, shout out to Chili Cheese J in the chat. Brother, what's up, man? Yeah, I love Levin. Yeah, I've been listening to him for a while, too. And I know he's got a couple of good books out. I haven't read any because I'm not really a book guy, but he does have a long list of pretty good books with pretty good reviews, too. Yeah, and I heard good things about his shit. There's a reason why, people listen to him and watch him on Fox and watched him throughout his career, And honestly, a lot of the shit that he's saying, I agree with, and more than I agree with Alex Jones at this point. And, back in the day, I 100% agreed with a lot of shit that Alex Jones was saying. I would say like 90% of what he was saying at one point. I was like, yo, he's right. I could listen to him for like 4 hours and be like, yo, he's right, like most of the time. But I got to say, lately, he like goes off on these tantrums like he knows everything. And he's like, we told you that 4 months ago. And it's like he never comes up with these clips proving it. And he's like, I know if you go back and you get it from me. And it's like, no, nobody can go back and get that, but they can go look up how much money these fucking companies are making, and that's doing this and that. It's like, go back and get me the clip then. Because I didn't hear you say it, and I've been listening the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Shit he's saying today, and some of the stuff that he says is shit that he I swear to you at one point, like about 3 or 4 months ago, he was saying everything. He was like, Trump's going to get killed. He's going to get, and this is how he's going to get killed. And then he would say it like 14 different ways throughout an hour. and his plane's gonna, and it's like, and then he's like in the Trump mobile, and it's like every which way you could, with a fryer, you know what I mean? The butler, all that shit. But anyway, so I do agree with a lot of what Levin has been saying lately, and the Epstein shit, as far as I'm concerned, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, this is how I feel about it. Yes, I want to know the people on there that had relations with kids or hired kids and put them to work illegally, right? Or did anything else illegal with kids. I want all their names out, right? But it's like, obviously, why the fuck are they not doing that? They don't obviously have, like, what some people think they have. And if they did, I mean, wouldn't they do that? I don't know why they would cover that up. I don't know why Biden's people would cover that up then. You know, I don't get it. You know, I'm sure if Biden's people had stuff, they would have fucking fucked Trump and everybody else with it. But they didn't. So obviously it wasn't there. And I'm sure Trump's people, if they had Biden and anyone else on it, would fuck their whole shit up. And it's obviously not there. So, you know, what's there? I don't fucking know. But I'm not going to let it ruin all this shit that is happening that is good. You know, like Trump has really fucking come a far way, man. 35,000 children saved from either sex or working or this or drug trafficking. Like, I mean, you name it. These kids were involved with it. With sex and drug trafficking and fucking working illegally and all kinds of crazy, crazy shit that involve minors, young kids. And he's had his people and his laws and his rules implemented to where it's fucking literally saving 35,000 kids in these months that he's been president, in these small amount of months that he's been president. And in 2 months straight, no one, not one fucking single life has passed our border. Not one single person for the first time ever probably in 2 months straight, no one has passed our border. It literally has went from the floodgates opening and every fucking Democrat in the world saying, there's a problem with our system. The system's broken. Just let them flood in. I mean, we don't know what to do. The system's broken and everything's fucked and just let them flood in. We don't know what to do. Don't do it. Don't do it. But just let them flood in. We don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden Trump becomes president. And all of a sudden it just stops. And people that support Democrats and people that support these people that were in charge don't think that there's a problem. They don't think to themselves, well, why did it just stop? They don't think that. Like, they don't turn around and go, well, why would it just stop like that? Like, you guys told us that it was a broke system. What did Trump do that you guys couldn't do? They don't question that. They don't say that to the people that they're giving their money to or their support to. They don't say that. Why don't they say that? Why don't they question that? What are we talking about, man? Why would you support these people?
Let's do that. I mean, after all, is it fair? Is it equitable? Is it equal that only the foreigners, the aliens who get into this country illegally and make it here, that they get the benefit of what you make and what you earn? That's not equal. That's not fair. There's all kind of people who are destitute. There's all kind of people all over the world who need help.
Especially here, Americans, right? Americans, bro. Americans and fucking people that have fought in wars for us, that have fought in conflicts for us, that have lost limbs and fucking their minds and their will and their fucking physical being and their bodies. Veterans that need our help, and all that money's being riled up and just given to these people in 5-star hotels, and they pack New York City 5-star hotels with all these illegals, and they stay there for months, to the point where some of them were making videos bragging about how much free shit they get. Free food, free apartment, free this, free that. Come to America, yo, we're just walking right across, no one's stopping us. Like, what the fuck, bro?
No. So why limit it to the people who come here illegally? Why not just help them? And of course, the answer is you'll destroy the country. It's an impossibility. You can't have open borders in a welfare state. A greater man than I mentioned that, Milton Friedman. It's an impossibility.
You can't.
You'll destroy your country.
Exactly.
And these same people talk about, oh, the spending's out of control.
You'll eat yourself. You will literally eat yourself if you do that. If you have a welfare state of people who don't want to work and you just pay them out to live and you give them free shit so they can live, right? Barely live, and they're happy with that, right? And you have open borders and more and more and more and more come in and more come in. Well, what's going to happen eventually? What's going to happen? I mean, hello?
Tax cuts for the rich, oh this, oh that. Borders wide open, people coming in illegally. And they act like they're citizens. That is, the Democrats on the left. They act like they're citizens. And by God, you better not deport them. You better not deport them. I mean, after all, they have families and everything. Well, then don't put anybody in prison. You know, I made this point years ago. I notice it's being repeated now, and it's a good point. Because that breaks up families all the time. Problem is, if you talk to the people who support Soros, they'll say, see, we told you, get rid of the prisons. Anyway, let's start from the top with her again. She makes a point that I want to underscore. Cut 3, go.
Yesterday, I was at a food bank in my district talking about the SNAP cuts, the horrible SNAP cuts and Medicaid cuts. And they told me that people are not even showing up to Head Start, where they get their food. They're not showing up to the food banks because they're afraid. And it's not just undocumented immigrants. It is people of all legal statuses. It's undocumented immigrants who have been here for 20 years.
I'll be right back.
Wow, man. You fucking believe that? Like, that's what this woman is talking about, bro. What the fuck, man?
First month. You can switch over to pure.
What
Only
the fuck,
sicker
man?
and sicker out there. Funny at that points aspects of Hamas's attack. The terror organization's pervasive and strategic use of sexual violence. And it is amazing to me how the women's groups in America don't give a damn about this or anywhere, for that matter, except in Israel. The terror organization's pervasive and strategic use of...
Now, all right, real quick. So last week I mentioned, and then I'm going to probably bounce after this, but this is an important point. Last week I mentioned, like, Joe Rogan's pissed at this point, and a lot of other people are questioning the fact that Israel is still bombing and killing people over there, right? And I said, yeah, it's fucked up. They're killing kids now at this point, right? That are running around in there and like moving around these broken rubble buildings, right? And the whole place is just leveled, but they're running around, these kids, and they're killing them, and they're bombing the area still and fucking killing these people, right? And it's fucked up. And people like Rogan and other people are complaining about it at this point and saying, like, yo, enough is enough. This is genocide. This is this. This is that. And I agree. It's fucking a complete fuck up and a complete mess at this point, right? But what Joe Rogan and some of these fucking people don't understand is, right, on that day, October 7th, when all these people went into fucking these, you know, concerts and little neighborhoods and all these areas where Jewish people were, and they went in and they fucking beheaded and raped and killed and maimed and raped babies and they said all this, and people said, no, it didn't happen like that. No, they just cut them up and just killed all of them and took hostages. It wasn't as bad as you say it is. No, motherfucker. It's as bad as people say it is. There's videos out there of it. It exists. They raped, they pillaged and raped and fucking maimed and killed and did everything in residential neighborhoods like ours, like everyday neighborhoods, residential neighborhoods, during concerts, during this and that, right? And that was a massacre, right, on that date, October the 7th, right? And Israel right after that went to fucking hell and brimstone with Hamas, right? And now here we are, fast forward to today. The Jewish people that are running that area are in fucking flamed with blood, hate, and lust to kill these people. And they feel that even the little kid running around that probably would take out 10 fucking Israeli soldiers if he could, because that's what he's taught from a very young age, he would, like, they don't have a problem killing that kid. In their mind, it's not a kid. It's a potential fucking threat. It's a potential killer, just like everyone else. Just like the two fucking Israeli people that were ambassadors in New York City that got gunned down by a fucking Islamic fucking fundamentalist in the middle of New York City. Gunned down, a husband and wife, that got gunned down right in the street for being Jewish. Got gunned down right there in the street for being from Israel. And the whole thing that's going on. Like, this is like bloodlust. This is fucking blood war. This is blood hate shit. This is fucking deep, demented hatred and fucking, on both sides at this point. And if you don't believe me, listen to this.
Sexual violence as early as October 8, when Hamas posted videos of the carnage on social media. It was easy to see that terrorists had brutalized and assaulted women. There was the video of Naama Levy, who was dragged by her hair into a Jeep with blood stains on the crotch area of her pants. There was the video of Shani Lauk, splayed out nude in the back of a truck bed as terrorists prodded at her with their feet and guns. There was testimony from forensic analysts who processed bodies. Israel Defense Forces killed the man who dragged Levy into the Jeep, Mohammed Abu Asid, in a September 2024 drone strike. The IDF also killed the terrorist who spat on Lauk's body, and it has killed or arrested other terrorists who abducted and abused females on that day. While the IDF seeks physical retribution, Israeli scholars and lawyers with the DINA Project have done their part to ensure that victims' voices are heard. Released last week, and you haven't heard this anywhere, have you? You haven't heard it anywhere.
Not a word in America.
Released last week, the report compiles evidence from 5,000 photos and more than 50 hours of footage from the attacks.
5,000 photos and a massive amount of footage from the attack that women were raped and like stabbed in the vagina with machetes and beheaded and had their breast cut off and their babies fucking beheaded and raped and all this crazy satanic only devil worshipping motherfuckers would do. Okay? Right? All this crazy pillaging shit that happened to everyday people just living their life in their homes and at concerts and in their town and just driving around with their kids in the car, right? Every day. And they think that, oh, this is brutal what you're doing over there, and it's brutal. Like, look what happened to their people, man. What don't you fucking get?
Experts also interviewed 34 survivors, witnesses, and released hostages, met with hostage families, residents of kibbutzim, and relevant Israeli scholars and politicians, and reviewed documents the IDF retrieved from Gaza to gain a fuller understanding of the scope of the attacks. DINA Project scholars didn't discover anything unreported, but they were able to establish that there were clear patterns, methodologies even, of sexual abuse that occurred in different arenas of the attack. Rape, genital mutilation, and the use of sexual humiliation to advance war aims were systemic acts of terror, the DINA Project found. Terrorists committed multiple acts of gang rape during the attack and multiple acts of rape and severe sexual assault both on October 7 and while hostages were kept in captivity. They also mutilated women in several cases. Survivors witnessed terrorists sexually assaulting dead victims as well. The assaults were spread throughout southern Israel, where terrorists attacked at the Nova Music Festival, at the Nal Oz military base on Route 232, and in Gaza. The full nature of Hamas's attack may never be known, as Hamas murdered and silenced most of its victims. Israelis gathered and analyzed what information they could from talking bodies. First responders found, and I quote, bodies with objects inserted in their private parts, bodies with signs of shooting or other mutilations in the area of the genitalia, bodies of naked women cuffed onto T's, bodies of half-naked or fully naked women, some lying with their genitalia exposed and legs spread. These accounts happened mostly at the Nova Music Festival and at the civilian villages Kibbutz Be'eri, Kibbutz Aluman, and Kibbutz Nal Oz, and Kibbutz Reem. Terrorists posted videos on Telegram and other social networks of the desecration of bodies of partially naked male hostages, including stomping on their genitalia, and forced partial or full nudity, sometimes accompanied by public display, sexual humiliation by various acts of violence, kicking, jumping over, stomping, directed at the genitalia or the buttocks. Possible mutilation of the genitalia.
Wow.
The Dinah Project, these are animals. These are monsters. The Dinah Project is one of the first groups to address the legal challenges behind such a proven systemic attack. After reviewing all the evidence, the group was able to reach the conclusion all terrorists who participated in the attack bear full responsibility of sexual violence, especially the commanders of the terrorists in the various locations. Attributing responsibility to the terrorist organization instead of individual terrorists legitimizes the theory, even post-October 7, that Hamas's genocidal attack was motivated by the group's ideological backbone, which seeks to demonize Israel and the Jewish people. The attack and sexual assault of civilians was not a result of collateral conflict. The retired judge and lawyer who co-founded the Dinah Project, and that would be Nava Ben-Or, told National Review, but a purpose in and of itself. Many international organizations, American student groups, and progressive politicians who laud themselves as defenders for survivors of sexual assault were suspiciously silent on Hamas's atrocities. Those who labeled rapists freedom fighters see Israel as the only side which is responsible for the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Ben-Or said, thus contextualizing Hamas's assault on Israeli civilians within the framework of Israel's colonialist occupation, they say, of Palestinian territory. So it was accepted and is acceptable. It's very agonizing, he said, because this means that raping women can be contextualized, that there are some circumstances in which it is legitimate, or at least understandable. It's an inevitable conclusion that if you keep quiet, then you actually say, well, this is okay because they're colonialists. They're Jews, and the Jews deserve it. What if terrorists now detained in Israel are prosecuted? They should be charged with sexual violence, authors advise. Hamas should also be blacklisted internationally as a terror group. The United Nations has never done it, and we think it's deplorable, Ben-Or said. Nothing will undo what happened, but at least the feeling that the world acknowledges the attack and takes responsibility in trying to avoid the next attack would be justice. Those poor young kids who were at that Nova Festival, and those IDF soldiers, many of them young women, in that IDF location that was overrun.
They got fucked
What
up.
was done to them,
yeah, it's fucked up.
is unspeakable.
And you know what? People wonder why people like Joe Rogan and all these other fucking people that are online, it's genocide, it's this, it's that, right? Yeah, well, guess what? Like, obviously you haven't seen some of the videos and you haven't seen what really happened, what sparked this war in the first place. So, you know, obviously it was brutal, and the way that he just described it, that's like, these videos are out there, they exist, you know? This brutal shit that they did that day. They overran that base, and those women that were on that base got fucking brutally just butchered. Sexually, too. Like, think of that. That's fucked. That's fucking fact. It's fucking fact. It really is. They wonder why they're hell-bent. Yeah, they've had a long time to dig the dirt up on Trump, without a doubt. Like, it's like, you know. And then, you know, Jones admits that and says, you know, obviously the shit on there is not true what they're saying about Trump if it is on there. And just release it, though. I'm mad that you're not releasing it. It's like, why release it if it's all fake and it's all bullshit? I don't get that. So he's mad about nothing at all. You know, and it's weird. And he's putting on this whole thing. And at one point, Mark Levin, at one point today on his show, he goes, you know, these people that are questioning Trump on this, and they don't even realize why they're questioning him at this point with the Epstein stuff, because they know what's going on. They know that it's fake shit on there, and he, you know, there's nothing to really put on there or put out, really. He's like, they just keep doing it because it's making them have new listeners and new people watching them and new people listening and, you know, new supporters. And, you know, I don't know if he's really talking about Alex Jones, but I did hear Alex Jones say, Mark Levin's talking about us again and mentioning me. And so obviously he thinks, you know, he was. So, and I don't know if Alex Jones is getting new people listening to him and having new supporters and eyes on him because he's calling Trump out for this shit, because there's a lot of people on X that are. Or not a lot of people. Listen, it's not a lot of people on X, but it's a lot of people together on X, you know, that have a problem with this and are jumping into like all kinds of conspiracy theories and all kinds of shit. Hey, you know, this means Trump's involved. And like, if you read some of the shit on there, it's insane what they're saying. And, you know, but like we said, who knows what the truth is? You know, who knows what the real fucking truth is? I don't know. But like all the good that he has done, that even, you know, and I will give Alex Jones this credit. He did mention all the good shit that Trump has done and has gotten done through his people and through his new laws, right? And, you know, it's like, why harp on the couple of negative things that happen? You know, it sucks that we're not getting names and people. But Epstein's dead. You know what I mean? Like, if the guy was alive and getting away with it, I would have a real issue with it. You know, but the guy's gone. And it's like, what are we going to do? The other woman's in jail. The guy's gone. And, like, what are we supposed to do at this point? Unless she's ready to give up names and tell the truth and we're all ready to listen, fuck off. You know, if Ghislaine is ready to step up and fucking give it all and they'll let her do it, I'll listen. I'm sure the whole world will. But until then, fuck off. You know what I mean? So, like, what are we talking about here? Like, why are you mad at Trump, man? And let it go. Trump's been involved with too much good and has had his people do too many good things. Listen, when you're saving 35,000 kids from crazy shit, I think that alone is worth someone saying, hey, I'm not a Trump supporter and I would never vote for Trump, but that is damn good. Like, how could you not be supportive of that? Saving these kids. How could you not be in support of that? Why would you not be in support of that? I run New York.
I run New York. Yeah. I run New York. Yeah. I run New York.
Yo, y'all, I'm bouncing. It's 1 o'clock. I'll hit you guys up tomorrow. I'll see all you guys tomorrow night. Normal place, normal time. Peace out.
I will bend for you. 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 I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for two.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I'll bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I wanna bend with you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you.
I will bend for you. Will bend for you. I will bend for you. Bend for you. Bend for you. Bend will bend will bend will bend for bend will bend for you. Will bend for you. I will bend will bend. I will bend will bend for you. I will bend for you.
Bend for you. I will bend for you. I will bend for you. I will bend for two. Yeah. I will bend for you. I will bend for two. I will bend for you. Yeah.
What?
Yo, what up, my trash bag ass niggas? It's Diddy, and when I'm not facing life in federal prison and having my girl regurgitate some nigga cum on my nipples, I'm listening to the Foul Mouths Network on YouTube every day. That's my word.
Trash bag ass nigga.
What? Oh, no, Trump wants a civil war.
Elon took over Doge.
They're making their move.
So for you to sit there and insult my integrity
is rad. Demonic possession all over the place, just exploding.
He's a fag.
I have natural flowing bowel movements. I pulled my fucking dick out and sort of on it.
Tommy, do you like cheesecake?
No. I didn't. I didn't. They didn't. I didn't.
Stupid fucking game.
Did I do that?
Bad man. I wasn't scared of clown until I seen Tommy's strong face pain. Then I'm afraid he's going to brutally take
I want to fucking peel your fucking face off. Fucking airplane mode! Fuck me!
Tommy, what is going on?
I'm gonna tell you what's tell you! God,
All right. All right. All right. Better when he's got the makeup on when he does that.
Hey!
Well, what? Tommy, smash your phone against the wall.
I just did, dude. Stop.
Tommy, punch
Chris.
something. What?
12.
Smash your phone against the wall.
I just did, dude. Stop.
Tommy, punch.
Chris.
What?
12. Did I do that?
I will bend for you. 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 I will bend for you.